I'm
No, I meant
sorry.
start the actual stream on
No,
Twitch.
I know. Sorry, you were correct. I was being silly.
I'm tired. You can't gaslight me like this.
I
I'm
just
so eepy.
I will do my best to be a good person. Oh yeah, you have channel points now, which means that you can add silly things.
What? I don't know what that means.
As in, you can add like little things of like drink water, hydrate or dehydrate, or like yeah, the silly things.
I, I have, okay.
Yeah, don't worry, it's not a thing for you to do right now. Right now, this is just more of a I remember that you can do this now.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I can if I wanted to care.
Yeah, and you don't have to. Easy peasy.
Do those come with noise alerts? Because if they do, I absolutely will
No,
not do that.
they
Okay.
do not come with any alerts now. Noise alerts, the sound alerts specifically are if you download a different separate thing.
Okay,
If you want to
good.
actually have a sound alert, yeah.
Because fuck
Channel
those.
points,
I hate
yeah.
them.
Usually with channel points are they don't need to necessarily be connected to anything. Though there are like things where it's like you can. I will deal with that later. But there are things you can connect to them, such as uh, uh tits, for or even TTYS. That's not what it's called, is it? I think it's called TTYS. So you can connect either tits or TTYS to them. So that way you can have like a talking model. So it's like, hey, yeah, this is what it's gonna say, or the what's it called, or like having to throw things at you. Um, there's also the other ones such as like, oh yeah, first, okay, you were first in the chat, so you're the only one who can pull that one, or like the hey, I'm or like just saying like hello, I'm here in the stream now. And it's like great, you're here in the stream. Thanks for being here. Or the yeah, just a little notification saying, "Hey, drink water." That appears in chat. And it's like, "Okay, drink water." Or like the stretch break. It's just like stretch or like clean your glasses, stretch your hands. Yeah, all this stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have to connect it to anything. Just like there, or they can
Yeah.
connect things for various other things. That is all.
Okay.
Murders on the Yangtze River.
Yeah. Anyway, hi stream. Uh, Hi. We're gonna be playing Murders on the Yangtze River because that's what we've been doing on these Fridays. We're getting into, I think, the second to last case of the game. I think, from what I remember.
Thanks, Manito.
What Mooney
Yeah,
said? I don't remember.
yeah.
Anyway, just a forewarning for anyone in here. I am. Oh my god! I forgot to put your tag in the goddamn title again. I'm gonna cry. Oh.
I will be back then. I'm going to fix my steak.
Okay. I'm putting it in the title. Anyway, why isn't it purple? Did it not dig up? Or is it? Alright. Twitch, I can't do this. You can't do this. Okay, good. It's alright. Good. Okay. Anyway, as I was trying to say, hi chat. Hello. We're playing more Murders on the Yangtze River because that's what we're doing, and we're getting closer and closer to the end of the game. Huzzah! We're having a great time. We're having an awesome time solving murders and things. You know, the good stuff. If I sound really, really tired, I am. And it's all good. It's fine. I just only got 5 hours of sleep last night, and I just ate a lot of food, so my body is unfortunately going into hibernation mode. I'm fine though. I'm just very eepy, so it's okay. I'm still fine. I'm not like in a bad mood or anything. I'm just sleepy. But yeah, we're gonna be playing more game when Shinma gets back, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
Um,
back? Are you ready?
I'm back. I'm ready. I have um no sprites because I took them to work and then I was planning on ordering more. But
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't realize that for some reason it closed earlier than I thought it closed at Costco. And so I can't order any until Monday because I would not be able to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Plus have it delivered and I'll be there to be pick it up.
I guess you'll just have to suffer without them.
I will just have to suffer. And you know I do not like to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Well,
was placed on this earth. Here we
yeah.
go.
Okay, here we go.
We're now in the confined room mystery, in which
Whee!
there is a room and we are confined in it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what that means.
What else would it mean? We are detectives. We don't have to solve murders each and every single. Oh, hello.
Go. Do it.
Mr. Shan and Mr. Wu, welcome to Golden Words Publishing House. I'm Fang Han Chu, the supervisor here.
Hello, Miss Fang.
Through your telegram, we have learned about the incident in Peril Town. Thank you both for uncovering the truth.
Miss Liu was an outstanding editor, and her passing away is truly regrettable.
We have published an article explaining Lo Shiwen's contribution to Lope's novels.
I hope this will provide some comfort to Miss Liu.
Pishango valued the reputation of authors greatly and hopes that she is aware of it.
Miss Lou would surely be happy about that.
The rain gets heavier. Please come in and continue our conversation indoors. Mr. Shen, are you here to look for a specific book? May I know the title?
I'm not sure about the exact title either. But, according to Lo Shiwen, Lope's The Confined Room Mystery borrows ideas from this book.
The manuscripts that Pichen has handled are plentiful. If we were to go through every piece of them, it would indeed take a long time. Mr. Shen, do you have any other information?
This matter might be helpful in finding the book. Lope's visit? Shiwen's accusation? Lope's visit?
Yeah,
6 months ago, Lope visited the publishing house. He must have read the manuscript during that time.
That time, it was me who invited Lope to come, and I also took him to the archives. But I'm not sure which manuscript he has gone through during his visits.
This matter might be helpful in finding the book.
Let's try Picheng's work.
What kind of work was Miss Liu busy with during her final days? Was any of her work related to the manuscripts?
If I had to say, Picheng had recently made a great effort to reread the rejected manuscripts.
Oh, why would she reread the manuscripts that have already been rejected?
Because then she can steal the idea no one would know.
Gasp! Previously, we didn't prioritize detective novels as a genre, so many
Submissions.
Previously, we didn't prioritize detective novels as a genre, so many submissions were rejected. But in recent years, detective novels have been increasingly popular among readers. Bishang had hoped to discover more talented authors from within this genre.
In other words, there may have been some excellent novels that have been overlooked in the rejections.
Exactly. Bishang believes the popularity of detective novels can bring great benefits. It showcases a rigorous mode of logical thinking and also encourages everyone to seek the truth. For readers constrained by the eight-legged essay, this is a refreshing change.
What Miss Lu was indeed very meaningful.
Maybe Miss Lee realized that the ideas in Lope's book were plagiarized while sorting the rejects. That's why she went to talk to Lope.
Sure. Miss Feng, could we take a look at these rejected manuscripts?
They were all sent back to the archives room. Let me take you there.
15 minutes later.
Around 15 minutes later. Strange. The rejected manuscripts that Pichang had sorted through were supposed to be here.
Uh-oh.
How could they have disappeared?
Uh-oh.
They're gone. They're gone. Oh,
Parrot?
okay.
Wow, it's the parrot talking.
Oh, good.
Now you have to be parrot.
Praise be, praise me.
Chuer, did you finish your meal?
I'm done. I'm done.
That's a person.
Is it?
Maybe? Because it had the question. Never mind. Maybe not. Because I think it's. Never mind. Because I thought it. Never mind.
Mm.
It was probably still a parrot. Mr. Shen, this is Wu Shisule. Wu Shule. Mr. Shen, this is Wu Shule. I messed up again. Shule. 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 Mr. Shen, this is Wu Shule, the archivist, and Juer is her parrot. If you need any assistance, feel free to ask her for help. Shule, Mr. Shen and Afu are both detectives. They came to us to investigate clues, and we'll do our best to assist them.
I guess. Do I want to be the girl and the parrot, or do you want to be the girl?
I can do the girl if you want.
You can do the girl.
Or do you want to?
I don't care either way.
Okay. Detectives, the kind that solve murder cases? Exactly. How interesting. I love it. This is actually the first time I've met a real live detective. Alive.
Alive.
So I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm a detective novelist too. My pen name is Appa.
Wow, that's impressive. Can I read your books?
I'm still crafting my stories. You know what? During our conversation, I suddenly got a great idea. A detective came in search of lost clues. What lay before him were piles of manuscripts. To find the crucial evidence from within, it was an unprecedented challenge.
I'm not dyslexic.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even started writing yet?
Miss Liu organized some rejected manuscripts of detective novels. Do you know where she put them?
We don't have a separate category for detective novels yet. Only narrative fiction, supernatural tales, legal stories, kung fu novels, and romance fiction. Those rejected manuscripts were originally piled up messily on this table, but I spent 2 full days organizing every single manuscript in the house, systematically filed.
We asked where are they, not the backstory on where they were. We just want to see them. Praise me! Praise me!
So where are they?
Hmm? Why does everyone look so unhappy? Well,
Nope.
well, looks like you'll have to search through every bookshelf one by one, Mr. Shen.
It's done! It's done! It's alright. Afu, let's start searching from the leftmost bookshelf.
Searching, searching. Clock is going. I'm looking. I'm reading. I'm so tired.
You
I
bet
keep
you
reading.
organized them. Why don't you know where they are?
Because she organized all of them. As in, like, she took.
Why are you emptying every single
Because
shelf?
they're trying to find them, because apparently this lady doesn't even know where she put them.
I'm just staring because I know, like, I understand it's the idea of, like, okay, she organized them, right? So she organized them into each of these categories. I mean, shouldn't you still be able to tell which ones were they?
That's
Like, not pulling
yes,
off
that's
every
what I'm
single book.
saying.
Yeah. I just.
Anyway,
Oh boy.
that's what I'm saying. She's dumb.
She's
I
so
have
dumb.
finished this stack.
Also, no. Why didn't you put them back when you were done?
Because then you might get confused on which ones you have or haven't looked at.
But like, oh boy. Okay. Okay.
Why? What benefit would
Sorry,
it serve
just the way
putting them
that,
back?
so that there's not like just several stacks of books and the bookshelves are empty.
I wouldn't give a shit if it was this lady who lost it. But no, they do that so that otherwise you might get confused. Oh, did we even check this shelf yet? I don't remember. And then you're just you're stuck in a loop because you don't remember if you looked at something or not. So just leaving them out would be significant.
Yeah, I guess.
They would already still be organized because presumably you would still be putting them in order that you got them off the shelf and stacking them like that. So
Okay.
I have finished
I
this
don't
stack.
trust this lady enough.
I have finished this stack. I will go grab another stack. These are all manuscripts that have been reviewed. I haven't come across any plots similar to the confined room mystery.
Red rice, fried cake,
Hafu is sound asleep. Let's not wake him up. All the books on this bookshelf have been reviewed.
Gasp.
Oh god. It's so late. How could there be a child here? Let me have a look. Oh no.
Oh no.
How did I end up back here again? Afu has also disappeared somewhere.
You're going back and past.
Okay. What the fuck is happening?
Yes.
Back once again. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no.
The Confined Room Mystery, Chapter 5.
Oh no.
You're asleep. Don't worry. It's fine. Trust.
I know, but oh no.
All the books are back on the shelves.
The bookshelf is filled with books. There seems to be one book that appears different from the others.
It's red. Ah!
Oh. Why are we looking at younger us? Who's talking? Don't be afraid, it's me. I don't know who's talking about that. That's you then, because I think you're Brian.
Oh yeah, the older brother, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
older brother.
Chungping, did you steal Dad's opium pipe again? Where is it? Don't make a sound. I'll go handle it. Dad, what are you looking for? Where is my money? Where is my money? We have been out of money at home. You've sold off everything. Who said there's no money left? Where did that little rascal go? The manager of the theater will come to pick him up in a few days. As long as he behaves and goes with that person, it's quite a sum of money. You're just selling. Okay.
Oh god.
You're insane. After raising you for so many years, it's time for you to show filial piety.
What?
You're so
I
full.
don't like this chapter. I feel like we've been set up.
I think we've been set up, Morgan. And Mooney's not even
Mooney's
here.
not even here to fucking experience it.
I cannot believe we're being jump
Oh
scared.
my god, been jump scared so many
He's
times.
gonna die.
This is the fucking horror episode. Great.
This is a horror episode, and you're too sleepy for this.
Well, ironically, the sleepy works to my advantage because I can just. It means I'm very less reactive, but this is very unfortunate for you.
This is so unfortunate for me. I need someone to react as much as I'm reacting so I don't feel insane. So you were hiding here all along. Run quickly.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, what the fuck?
Run!
I'm running. I sure am running. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. It's so cool.
Mooney, why aren't you here to I'm gonna harass Mooney. Hang on.
Harass me. Please.
Mooney, where
Harass
are you?
Mooney too. Mooney, where are you? Where are they? Mooney. Where are you? We are suffering. Help.
Anyway. Oh, good.
The game
Gotta
just
go
actually
through all
kills
that
you.
again. Okay. Oh, okay. So, okay, I don't need to run forward, then I just need to move. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes way more sense.
You just gotta go. Dodge. Oh,
This is fucking horrible.
I don't like it.
Shen, control your fucking nightmares, man.
Sean, please.
Shen, get better nightmares, actually.
Also, here's the thing, right? Setting this, it can be said that this was made in Live 2D, right? And it looks really good for that.
Why,
It just
why would
also
you
is
immediately
really-
assume it's Live 2D? There's so many programs that you can do this
Because
stuff in.
a lot of games recently. You went to the wrong side of the chairs. But yeah, I think a lot of games recently have been used Live 2D for things. For some anime. Or it might not have been. I don't know. Anyway. Animation. Because I thought we talked about how they used it for part of their movements for their animation stuff.
Well, I
Or
mean,
it
I
could have
mentioned
been
the,
wrong
the
with it.
possible usage of, like, puppet animation in this game, but that doesn't
Yeah.
inherently mean it's
That's
being
not
done in Live
inherently
2D.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I just
I think I confused myself at some point in time. That's what I'm going with. You made it. You
Jesus
escaped the
Christ.
nightmare.
Hmm.
So we're in a flashback?
I
Is that what
don't
happened?
know. Is it
Because he's
just about the
dead
death of
now.
our father, I guess?
I love hearing the "oh no" effect and then just jumping into a closet and sitting there. Oh, hi.
Hmm.
Hmm. May I come in, Ping?
Hmm.
If you don't let me in, then I'll have to perform the magic trick for someone else.
Uh, um. Mm.
Close your eyes. It's lights out. Open your eyes now.
No.
Aww.
Do you like it?
Um.
This is fluorescent powder. It glows in the dark. Ping, have you heard the story of the little monkey?
Uh.
One evening, a little monkey was playing by the pond. He saw the moon reflected in the water and reached out to touch it. Ripples appeared on the water surface, and the moon disappeared amidst the ripples. The little monkey was shocked, thinking that it shattered the moon. Actually, it was just a reflection of the moon in the water. The moon disappeared because it was covered by clouds. Ping, that thing is not your fault from the beginning to the end. Even if dark clouds cover the entire sky, you still have your own shining star.
Hmm.
Ping, I recently found a medal that might be able to cure your aphasia. So,
What?
aphasia.
I believe
Let
it's
me
the
see.
inability to speak.
Yeah, that's the one we just dealt with, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I read in a medical journal that excessive fright might cause tongue retraction, leading to hilar dislocation and speech impairment. Yeah, so this is the one
And
we're
that's how we
discussing
know
with.
about it.
And that's how he fixed it. Wow.
If the hyoid bone is positioned using a clamp, speech function might be restored.
Hmm.
I know, those doctors all said that you would never be able to speak again. But I won't give up. Can I give it a try?
Hmm.
Chunping, please try to open your mouth as wide as possible. Now slowly stick your tongue out.
Ah.
Very good.
Brother, it hurts.
If unconscious trauma cannot be released or healed, they may result in the emergence of different selves to avoid confronting internal conflicts. So he is dead.
The way I'm looking at the
Okay.
camera right now.
Staring at it. Okay, so your brother is dead from his father's death. Got it. Okay. Um, this is one of the psychological defense mechanisms for self-protection.
What are you reading?
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams explores the origin and treatment of mental disorders.
Sigmund Freud, an Austrian psychologist and the founder of psychoanalysis, believed that childhood experiences have a significant impact on an individual, even shaping one's personality. This led to the theory of the unconscious, where repressed desires and fears reside hidden from conscious awareness. In The Interpretation of Dreams, he argued that dreams are not divine revelations, but expressions of the unconscious self. For instance, a child who gazes at mountains might dream of climbing them. By analyzing dreams, one can trace the origins of psychological issues. Isn't Freud fucking goddamn it?
Yeah.
Isn't he the one that we all dunk on?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I
The
thought.
the Oedipus complex. I'm like,
Yeah.
you see, what's happening here is that it's because you wanted to have sex with your mom. That's what
Yeah.
happened here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
guy.
Like, it was me going like, why fruit? I'm like, oh no, because he
That's
actually
right.
was respected at that period of
He
time.
was,
At that
yeah.
period of time, he was very respected, and he technically still is, because we do again refer to his stuff for a lot of things and a lot of reasons, and like a lot of literature have things based off of his teachings and stuff. So he's technically still kind of very respected, but also in the way that it's like, hey, yeah, you're fake. Anyway, moving on, kind of thing. But like,
Just because you're right
everyone
doesn't
knows
mean you're
it.
not a dick.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you're also right on other
Just
things.
because you're
Some
right
things you can be
doesn't
right
mean
on
we
things.
can't also psychoanalyze you and why you made certain decisions in your life.
Yeah. Whole thing. Because I think it's the thing of like, if you ignore like a lot of his theories saying like, hey, yeah, actually what happened here was because you wanted to be your dad, and that's why you hated your dad because you wanted to be him and you wanted your mom. Like, if you ignore that whole part and all that stuff, a lot of his stuff tends to kind of make sense as long as you ignore the whole very gendered aspect of some of his stuff.
Right.
Um, about reasonings and stuff like that, because again, he was also one of the first people and why he's known so much for it, but it's just very funny to know that like I feel like I've learned more about him in literature classes than in actual like sciences,
Yeah.
psychology classes.
Mm-hmm.
He's mentioned, but like so much more in detail when dealing with literature.
Yeah. Anyway. Mental disorders?
I want to understand the psychological reasons behind opium addiction and find ways to treat it.
No wonder you've been reading medical books lately.
Opium is rampant nowadays, causing harm not only to our family but also to countless others. There are already drugs available in the market for quitting opium. Nope.
Oh, that is me. There are already drugs available on the market for quitting opium, aren't there?
Most of the opium cessation medications are placebos, expensive yet with minimal effectiveness. Therefore, you want to find a truly effective treatment. Nope.
Therefore, I understand though. It's very much reading, like he's saying all this stuff.
Mm.
Anyway, therefore, you want to find a truly effective treatment method?
In one of Fruit's articles, I learned about a plant called croc. Fruit utilized extracts from it to treat conditions such as depression. Okay. If this could help with opium addiction, then the tragedy of our family would not be repeated. I'm sorry, just the way that it looked like Kid You in that model, and
It
then
did a
just
little
wearing
bit.
your outfit.
Well, I did notice our little shadow friend over there was wearing the hat that we're wearing now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Brother, how much longer do we have to wait? Fishing is so
Fishing's-
boring.
Nope. Shh. I caught one.
Don't let the fish escape!
When the fish bites the hook, don't rush to reel it in. Be patient and wait. When a big fish bites, there'll be a noticeable tug. Like this.
It's a mandarin fish!
Mandarin.
Let's go home. Tonight, I'll make steamed mandarin fish. Shouldn't
That's
you get
great.
like
We have fish to eat.
shouldn't you get like two fish?
You might already have fish. I don't know.
Yes, yeah. I just I feel like it's fine. The northern part of Russia is adjacent to the Arctic and has snow throughout the year.
Every day feels like winter. It's freezing cold. Is there a place where it's always summer?
Equatorial Africa, such as the Congo, experiences scorching heat and harsh conditions. It's not always summer though.
Brother, where are you going to study medicine?
Right here in London, the capital of the UK.
You two young gentlemen have great talents. Especially younger Shen. Obtained a government scholarship for studying abroad. Let's take a photo today to commemorate the two of you. Once the two of you return, you will surely achieve great success and accomplish great things. Our photography studio can also share in the glory. Relax, don't move.
Picture.
Picture.
And as you can see in the photo, there's 3 people. Ooh. Yeah,
Brother,
your brother's
who
dead.
in the world murdered you?
It was you, actually.
Okay.
I will be back in just a second. I'm gonna check on the thing I'm cooking.
Okay.
I just also the way that it's just posed like this. Like, yeah, glitchy door, it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry,
It's
trust.
okay. This is totally fine. Mm. Sleepy. Me and my sleepy face. Brr, 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 brr. Brr, 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 brr.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
How are you doing?
I'm sleepy, as I was before.
Okay, then we are good to go.
All right.
Unless nothing has happened other than that. Okay, well,
You said we're gonna
Good.
go.
I know, but I didn't think that they would just go like, yeah, click on
This is the
corpse instead of being
spooky
like, yeah, the
episode. Of
corpse.
course, it's gonna be like this.
This might be the last episode of that instead of the
I
thing.
don't know.
Okay,
I'm just playing game. I don't
we're
keep
just
track of these
playing
things.
game. We
Mm-hmm.
don't keep track of these things. This is true.
how many times have you returned to this point?
I have not counted.
The thousandth one,
1,121st time.
the 1121st time. 3 years, almost every night you've been here. But you still haven't found the answer. As time goes by, your memory is fading.
Don't stand in my way. I will
Anyway, I
definitely uncover the truth behind my brother's murder.
But I guess you have no time to lose.
A book has been taken from the desk. However, it cannot be determined if it was missing before or after the incident.
Why can't it be determined before or after the incident?
Because how would you know?
Because of the bloodstain.
There's not a bloodstain, that's an ink stain, Shinamo. We went over this.
Oh, that was an ink.
Yeah, we don't know if that happened during the murder or after the murder or when.
Yes, I understand now. Sorry, I thought it was a bloodstain. I got confused.
No, it was an ink stain. A photo of my brother with his classmates taken by Joseph. One person in the photo is Stone Wu, and the other person is Toby Cheng. Ooh.
Hmm?
The skylight is very high, needing a ladder to reach it. It has been locked from the inside. The glass has a thick layer of accumulated dust, and there are no traces of being touched. The police speculate that Brian caused the window to scorch marks and experiments. I have already observed this place. Should we take another look? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
An unburdened scrap of paper, made of oiled paper. Many paper ashes scattered around the chair, and on my brother's body as well. My brother was murdered on Ghost Festival Day, also the anniversary of our father's death. An asbestos mesh was with burn marks on it. Asbestos is in the middle has been replaced with wax.
Oh, so okay. I understand a little bit more context around the problem with that.
The only key to the room was found grasped in my brother's left hand at the time of death. There were only my brother's fingerprints on the key. Is this it?
No.
I guess that's it. Okay.
Okay.
There are 7 candles on the floor, arranged in the shape of the Big Dipper. Each candle has been firmly fixed to the floor with wax. 2 of the candles have a shallow scratch on their sides.
This is the.
You can do it.
I know. I can't remember the accent. That's a problem.
No, don't do an accent. Just it's fine.
This is this is the telegraph machine on the table. There are traces of it being used on that day. The Morse paper reel we found should be fitted in the hexagonal area on its tab. Other than that, no other abnormalities were found on the machine.
There is a small stool placed between the desk and the candle arrangement. The stool is very small, with a height of less than 20 centimeters. I've already observed the items on the lab bench. Take another look. Are they going to be floating around? No, okay, that's fine. Just to refresh. A dismantled kerosene lamp on the table. Several long cotton threads soaked in kerosene in a kerosene bottle. A small brush inside. A stack of oil paper on the table. Each sheet is large and thin. Various chemicals and reagents placed on the lab bench. Among them, there are aspirin, procaine, and trichloromethane. Test tubes contain powdered herbal medicines such as sophora flavescens and angelica sinensis. Toxicology tests indicated that the death of my brother is not related to strychnine. There could be various underlying causes for his body contortion. During the incident, from 1:40 to 2:30 p.m., cafe staff heard constant phonograph sounds. They were playing the Peking Opera 7-star lamp.
We never did actually listen to the full thing, so.
We'll see how long it goes, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just curious why it's giving us the option to listen to it. Like, fully.
Yeah. Because it could be the thing of it being just a cool little effect that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure half the problem is just because now they've like stretched the sound.
Mm-hmm. What was originally inside this white circle?
Roll North paper code paper strip, which we took as evidence.
So you found it on the ground?
Aye, that's right. I suspect it fell from an Orthgun telegraph machine.
Does it have any content on it?
Aye, it's all telegrams from Mr. Bell and Joseph's father. Either. We checked the contents, discussed the development of a certain drug. Now I think suspicious.
Trophies, laboratory equipments, pharmaceutical books, and wax cylinders placed on the cabinet. Currently, no special findings have been made. Alright, well I guess we're gonna go to the police office. The memory isn't pleasant. Do you want to proceed? I mean, what else are we gonna do,
I mean,
babe?
we guess we have to. This is all the case file, Skeeter. You can take your time reviewing here. I'll go get the paperwork ready for your signature. Oh, thank God, it's finally coming to an end.
Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. How much is there?
Leary?
Morse code real. Oh, Jesus. Okay. A lot to look at. There are thousands of letters piled up on the bookshelf. Surprisingly, those are letters from the infamous Jack the Ripper case. Among them, some provided information and some are claimed to be written by the killer. The most notorious serial killer of the world, in 1888, he murdered multiple women in the Whitechapel area of London using extremely brutal methods. The victims were all strangled and had their abdomens cut open, with some organs removed. During the killing spree, Jack taunted the police and newspapers by sending them letters, causing a great panic in British society at the time. Over a century has passed since the case, but due to a lack of evidence, the identity of the true culprit and the actual motive behind the crimes remain highly debated. A copy of the Times on August 16th. The headline is about a fire incident. Patients from the scene of in the hospital. Interesting. London's St. Mary Hospital on the fire last night, resulting in the tragic death of 20 patients. The fire broke out on the second floor around 9 p.m. and quickly engulfed the entire building. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Okay.
So that's important enough to register?
Well, because remember again that the window was caught on fire and everything there, right?
Right.
And there's a lamp. So I'm assuming those have some connection. I don't know how, but I think that's the connection there.
Well, something like that. Well, it can't be the same fire because the crime that we're talking about took place not in a hospital.
I mean, yeah,
but we'll figure it out. There's a map on the wall showing police jurisdiction boundaries. Red lines on the map connect to different crime scenes. Auntie Cheng's house is located in Area A and under the jurisdiction of Westminster Police Station.
Okay.
The only key to the crime scene room was held in my brother's left hand during the incident. After examination, it was found that the key only had fingerprints belonging to my brother. A photo of the key, distinct Oriental style in its appearance, intricate craftsmanship. This key has a side cut mechanism, making it difficult to duplicate. This is the dagger that took my brother's life. The blood on it has already coagulated. As Officer Jones mentioned, compared to a regular dagger, this dagger is lighter. The police have found 2 fingerprints on the dagger, and both of them belong to my brother. Interestingly, both fingerprints are located at the end of the dagger handle. There are also slightly scorched marks on the ring at the end of the dagger handle.
That's a new fact, right?
What's a new fact?
The fact that well, I guess no. This now points more towards a suicide again.
Right.
Of it being that he
Because
was
I think that's
holding
what
it,
they said. Well, because what I think that they said happened was that the dagger that he possibly killed himself by hanging a dagger from the ceiling and having it fall into him, is what they claim. I think something like that. So again, it does point more especially because the scorch marks are by the window, and then on the handle of the dagger might imply that there was like a string that burned or something. Doesn't technically mean it had to be suicide. Someone could have set him up, of course, but we don't know.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. Were you going to say something else?
No, again, it's just a thing of, it specifically not being strychnine, which is a problem here. Because a lot of things can be pointed to towards strychnine of how the body was contorted, but we still don't have the answer of that, which is causing half the other problems.
Mm-hmm. Right. This is the Morse code paper reel Officer Jones found at the crime scene. The center of the paper reel has a hexagonal groove. One end of the paper tape has been folded over, forming a strange bend. The inner side of the paper tape is quite dirty and shows a sign of wear and tear. The paper strip is filled with dots and lines, which are Morse code.
Okay.
The police have successfully deciphered the telegrams. Here are the 5 telegrams from Mr. Bell to my brother, starting 2 weeks before the incident. Adjusted medication proven efficient in small trials. Congratulations. Not your fault. No one need to blame yourself.
Was he testing medication on himself?
It said patient, right? So I don't think on himself.
No. Did it say patient?
I don't know. I thought it did. Fucking now I'm tired.
Okay, no, because now I'm thinking like, yeah.
Drug development challenging path. Keep going. I believe success awaits. Optimism needed. Assistance offered any time. Stay positive. Understand concerns. Office meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. Here, I can write it again. Yeah. Here, 5 telegrams from Mr. Bell to my brother. Adjusted medication, proven effective in small trials. Congratulations. Okay, so it didn't say patient. I'm just tired.
Yeah. No, because it's a thing of like, there's a possibility of the medication he was testing caused the effects of the strychnine, and also was because again he's, as you know, he was studying mental health and everything and all that stuff. So it could have been that it was still technically a suicide actually. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be that easy because even if there's a funky reason. I don't think in a game like this, the story's going to say that, oh, it was actually just suicide the whole time. Mm-hmm. If it was a suicide, quote unquote, it would still probably have some sort of thing of someone drugged him with something or messed with his experiment in some way.
Yeah.
To make that possible shit happen.
We're going to do the case file to the appendix.
I will get to the appendix.
Okay.
It's the first thing we saw, so I would like to do it at last, personally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's okay. Yeah. It just looked like you were going from left to right, so I was like, oh, okay.
I will go on
right to left. Yeah, okay. You can do whatever you want. You're good. I love you.
I love you too. Police interrogation transcripts. The subjects being Toby Chang, Mr. Bell, and Miss Chang. Whose transcript do you want to read? Which one do you want to read?
Let's do Toby Chang first. Because I don't think we have a voice for him.
Because he wants to start, because usually we alternate.
Since I would say you do this guy, because then I can do the middle guy. I can do Joseph Bell. Because I am Joseph Bell, and you're the, Auntie. So that works. Yeah, so you do this one.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, fair point. Officer, I am a distinguished graduate of UCL. How could I possibly commit murder?
There's competition between ye and the victim, Brian Shen. Besides, ye were the last one to see him before Brian returned to the apartment.
I did see him, but you can't condemn me as guilty just because I saw him, right?
Whether you're deemed guilty depends on your answers to the following questions. Your Twitter.
Oh my god. Okay.
On the day of Brian's death, August 15, someone claims to have seen you two arguing.
We had no argument. It must be someone trying to smear my name. I can explain that. At 9 a.m. that morning, I was going to the Wandsworth Library to borrow books, passing by Pimlico. I saw Brian coming out of Mr. Bell's office building. I greeted him, but he pretended not to hear. I was angry. I grabbed him to confront and discuss the situation.
Just as you greeted him and he didn't respond?
Not exactly. Mr. Bell's research project should be mine. He stole it away. He not only shamelessly took my project, but also deliberately ignored me. Wasn't that infuriating?
So you got into an argument with him over that?
I didn't. He seemed absent-minded, not responding as if he couldn't hear what I was saying. Later, someone looked our way, so I let him go. There was no argument at all.
Whether you're deemed guilty depends on your answers to the following questions. Something else. What are you between 1 and 3 in the afternoon that day? And what were you doing?
I spent the entire afternoon studying at the library, then returned to the lab in the evening.
Is there someone who can vouch for your whereabouts?
The librarian named George can testify for me.
Whether you're dean. Nope. Other suspects. You can have others. You can have others who might be a grudge. You can have others who might be a grudge against Brian.
I wouldn't know. I'm usually focused on my academic pursuits and don't mind others' businesses.
Mr. Chang, please cooperate with our work.
I really don't know. Only one time I overheard him having a heated argument with Stone Wu.
What's the relationship between Stone Wu and Brian Chen? Do you know Do you ken why they had an argument?
They are friends. Stone often borrowed money from Brian. Their argument might have been related to money, but I'm not so sure about the specifics. But I heard Stone recently made a fortune. Moreover, he hurriedly returned to China the day before Brian's incident. Definitely fishy.
We'll verify. Give me 1 second.
1 second.
Sorry, I forgot when I grabbed the steak to actually put it down and turn off the cooker.
Uh-huh.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up. I got this Watson Bell, not Jigs. It's fine, I'll still do the voice. I thought that Watson Bell was Joseph Bell, but it turned out it's Watson Bell. It's fine,
It's
I
fine.
can
You
still do the voice.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good.
Mr. Bell, sorry for the trouble. After all, Brian was a researcher in the project I funded and a friend of Joseph's. I will do everything I can to bring the truth to light. Funding program. Heard this funding project's about opium cessation drugs? Opium cessation medication is one of Watson's pharmacy's core businesses. We have always placed a strong emphasis on research and development in this area. In fact, the person we initially funded wasn't Brian, but his classmate Toby Joe. Unfortunately, Toby had lofty ambitions, but little progress after 6 months. Joseph introduced me to Brian, who was facing pressure from the Sassoon family due to his research. The Sassoons benefit greatly from the opium trade. They'll by no means stand idly by. When I saw his research...
Let me read the fact first. The Sassoon family is a prominent family of Iraq Jewish heritage. In August 1833, when the British Parliament abolished the East India Trading Company's monopoly on trade with China, the Sassoon family took this opportunity to import a large quantity of cotton textiles and opium into China. During Lin Zexu's campaign to suppress the opium trade in Hunan, about half of the opium seized came from the Sassoon family. Following the signing of the Treaty of Nanking, the Sassoon family established several foreign firms in Shanghai. In the early days of the newly established Sassoon & Co., the average of 15,000 chests of opium, or no, not 15, of 5,000 chests of opium flowed into Shanghai each year. I'm very tired, if you can't tell.
When I saw his research progress, it only strengthened my determination to support him. Also, the reason Brian studied pharmacy and aspired to develop better opium cessation medication was because his family was ruined and devastated by opium. I believe he is the most suitable person to carry out this research. Somebody out you having an argument with Brian in the office on the morning of August 15th. At 9 a.m. that morning, I had arranged to meet Brian for coffee to talk about his recent condition. How's he been faring recently? The research faced some difficulties, and Brian was feeling quite down about it. I encouraged him to hold on, but he suddenly became very agitated, so we ended the conversation. It wasn't like his usual self. I intended to talk to him some day later, but how long had he been in this condition? In fact, during that period, his condition was quite worrisome. He became very pessimistic. In hindsight, I should have kept him a bit longer. I deeply regret that now. Where were you between 1 and 3 in the afternoon on that day? There was a pharmaceutical industry seminar that afternoon. I was invited to deliver a speech. Understood. Your alibi is solid. For now, that's all. Officer, may I add a few more details? Aye, of course. Please, go ahead. Brian's research on opium cessation medication touched upon the interests of certain groups. I don't want this case to be overly influenced by external factors affecting police judgment. I also trust that the details of the case be kept confidential. Aye, aye.
Okay. You, police, let bad guys go. Bother this old lady instead.
Mrs. Chang brought you in for questioning because on that day you were...
Only one at scene suspected me as murderer just like that? Which fool would murder in their own home?
A lot of them. Mrs. Chang, if he...
Ridiculous! Dare you stop me brewing my medicine, curing illness, extending life?
I'll try to keep it brief. Where are you between 1 and 3 in the afternoon on that day?
You ask where I was? I was Hungry Ghost Festival. Taboo to go out that day. It's Hungry Ghost Festival. Soak up sun, dispel bad energy. Been sitting in front of the house sunning myself. You foreigners understand or not. On that day, Ghost Gate opens. Avoid going out.
Other suspects? During that time, did anyone else enter?
Of course not. No one comes in without my permission. No one's getting in any day. Besides, you police. Who else likes barging into others' homes?
Did anyone else you think might have...
Yes. 2 guys tracking Brian. They've been staring at my house.
Aye, we've spoken to folk across the road and nobody's laid idle in the pair you mentioned. James and Mary from the cafe next door said the same. Are ye?
I'm sure I didn't see wrong.
I'll try to keep it brief.
Hello, Minsby.
Hey. As you can see, we are currently trying to figure out what happened to the brother.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back in the past again. Well, technically more of back in the nightmare, but like, you know, back in the past.
This is an overview of the case. The police conducted an investigation of each suspicious individual, but they all had alibis. It's a locked room, and only one key was in Brian's hand, which led to the conclusion of suicide. At Sergeant Joseph's urging, the police conducted several additional rounds of investigation. The police visited places that Brian frequented, such as St. Mary's Hospital, Savage Restaurant. However, no conclusive evidence was found that could overturn the aforementioned conclusion. Here is attached the layout of a layout map of Auntie Chang's house, as well as photographs of the entire crime scene. Shall I recall the situation at the crime scene again?
Why not?
But I think it's just gonna take us back to the same room. Yeah, it's just gonna take us back here.
Okay.
I can See if we
Never
have
mind, we
anything
did
new
not
there. I
need
think
to do that.
yeah, I think that's just our way back
Yeah.
if we need to go back.
Uh,
This is the autopsy record of Brian, and the autopsy was personally conducted by Joseph. The report mentions it can be inferred that the time of death was between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. The victim died from hemorrhagic shock caused by a ribbon piercing the left pulmonary artery. Body in a contorted position, suspicion of strychnine poisoning, but no toxins were detected. Bruising on the fingertips with wood shavings in the nail folds, healed wound on the right foot. No other injuries were found, indicating no signs of probing wounds. In addition, paper ashes found on the body and wax strips found on the clothes.
it seems like someone tried to burn all his research.
Mm-hmm. It certainly does. On the afternoon when my brother was murdered, Toby Chang was studying in the library. The library administrator, George, confirmed that Toby Chang had a clear alibi. The appendix of the case file shows the police's investigation of Stone Wu. Stone Wu is a close friend of Brian, and it is said that they had a heated argument in the past. Stone Wu suddenly left the UK the day before Brian's death. The police were unable to reach him. No one knows why he suddenly left, but this also serves as his alibi. The departure records in the appendix led to the police to exclude him as a suspect. Auntie Chang said that she sat at the gate all afternoon. Coffee shop staff confirms this as a fact. Auntie Chang mentioned brewing herbal medicine herself. Upon investigation, she was found to have a fatal illness, with only 1 year at most to live.
Oh.
Oh. That's sad.
Oh. That's really...
Okay, before we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Initial feelings. Just with everything that we have, all the shit we have so far. I don't think we're gonna be. I don't think we have enough information to confidently say anything, but
yeah,
just to
I feel
be on the same page.
Okay, the thing is, we still haven't talked about the carvings in the carvings on the stool and the wood chips in his nails, right? I feel like that's important, along with the fact that the Big Dipper pointed towards something on the desk, and that's what led us to check the books and see that there was a book missing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this makes me think of like, okay, this has to do with his research being missing. I feel right now that the most suspicious person currently is actually Stone Wu, because he left to go back to China. He might have had something to do with with the opium company and everything like that. We don't know with that. Because while Toby Chang was working on this beforehand of the whole thing, it had slow progress. There is a chance if he was he was doing slow progress because he didn't actually want it to get done,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he got switched over. But there's also it's the twofold thing of like, yes, it could be either of these two, right? Or it could in fact be Joseph, who Joseph just doesn't have a like Joseph is suspicious. Like we talked about this several times. Joseph is very suspicious, right? But he doesn't have a motive. Like there's a thing of like us talking about the map and everything, and how the map was showing that he was a part of that, and so that does kind of like put some like a little light on this, of him being, he was one of the detectives at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So him being a detective means that this might have been his block that he was supposed to investigate and everything, and so that's why it got swept in the rug and clues weren't found and all that stuff, right? So it's possible that there's that, but that just feels a lot more flimsy at the moment.
So my brain, and I will say that sometimes I will be totally frank that sometimes when I approach these stories, part of my deductiveness comes from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah.
And from a storytelling perspective, which this game has definitely surprised sometimes in that regard, for sure. But from a storytelling perspective, I don't think it's either of these guys. I think they're being set up to be the obvious choices. Because oh, you're his rival and he stole all your shit from you, well, of course you would want to kill him because he stole what should have been yours, so of course you would want to kill him. Oh, this guy
Yeah.
they've been recently having arguments and he suddenly vanishes to China right before his murder. Obvious, obvious alibi,
Yeah.
whatever, which could be written in that of us trying to prove how he could have had records of going to China when he was not in China. That's absolutely a possibility.
Yeah.
But from a
Um.
storytelling perspective, I do think going with his two closest friends is perhaps maybe the most obvious choice, and therefore maybe the one that's meant to be misleading
Yeah.
in that regard. Uh, I would argue that, well, yes, we don't have any kind of motive directly for murder for on Joseph's end or his father. There is a connection there. Whether or not
There.
we might not know what the motive could have been, but there's a connection because this was our brother's fucking patron who was
Yeah.
funding him and is also the father of his longtime best friend. There is something that could, and a guy who's a shady rich guy who could possibly have his own
Also
motivations
police.
for
Yeah.
wanting to kill him, and it could be that possibly Joseph is helping cover that up. We don't know. But we don't know. Obviously, we don't have enough information to say whether or not that was
Because the
any
thing
kind
is,
of motive is
from
there.
a storytelling perspective, it would be also a thing of it could be Joseph again because it's bringing it back to yes, it was the police all along.
We're fucking
Because
19.
we did.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 19. Oh my gosh, can't you tell? Anyway, but the thing is, with it could be again Joseph because it's the police officer again kind of thing of what happened in the first case
Right.
of the police hiding evidence to now again it happening again basically.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Um,
also. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, the only thing is that I want to mention how the police said that they never saw the two people that that um Yinmei was talking
Yeah.
about, right?
Right.
And so I feel like those two people are important, and they could
I
have been
agree.
police officers. We
Because
never, it
that's
was never
true.
that she was asked to describe the people, so we don't know what they looked like or if they could be anyone. It was just oh no, we never saw those people.
Yeah.
So,
Completely true. Because I was going to say there is very much the possibility of multiple murder, multiple killers, of either the less extreme option of there being a duo or a trio who all collaborated on this, and that's why they're able to have such good alibis.
yeah,
Alternatively, I don't think this is the answer, but alternatively, we get a Murder on the Orient Express situation of they all did it. It was all a giant conspiracy or whatever.
yeah,
I don't think so. I think it's going to end up being
yeah,
one person, but or one or a couple people, because I do think that there is very much the room for a collaborative effort to happen here.
which again, first case.
Exactly. There could have been a couple different things, because some of the interesting things about, because going back and reviewing all of the shit we learned from the first time we looked through it, so all of the stuff relating to the candles and possibly the knife, as well as some of the possibly even the phonograph and all that kind of stuff, those were pointing towards a ritual sort of situation, a ritualistic
Yeah,
kind of killing. So which in that situation it becomes a question of, was that happening before we got there, or was that something set up by whoever did it to throw people off, to be hey, look, he was crazy, he was doing something crazy. We don't quite know that
it's
yet,
just
because
the
it could
issue
be
of
either.
timing.
Right.
Most of
Again,
our
there's a bunch
problems
of
are
shit we don't
timing.
know, so we're not going to be able to
Yeah,
pin it down.
because
Whatever book is missing is definitely going to be important. I think we know that for sure.
yeah, for
Um,
sure,
for sure.
for sure.
Um,
It's a statue of the thinker. That's what's missing. That was the book all along.
yeah. This must have something to do with something.
Hmm.
The Morse code is interesting because we only have one half of a conversation, so we don't completely know the full picture of that yet.
Yeah,
But it definitely was. It did seem Mr. Bell was communicating, and they were talking about his specific drug trials of something. Whether or not he was using those drugs on himself or on someone else, We don't quite know yet. And that could have some kind of importance to stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
Interesting that this is being included in here, which does maybe point to
Yeah.
your theory that the police are the ones who are in on this. Um,
Police are hiding
because the fact that
things.
we're including the police jurisdiction stuff. Um,
Because here's the thing, right? We know that what it's saying here from this, the map at least, what it's showing, is that the hospital was in jurisdiction B,
right.
right? And then what was the other case that's happening here? That's in
It
the photo?
was, I don't know. It looks like some kind of
That's mostly?
robbery,
Okay.
maybe. Although none of
I
these
don't
actually
know.
look specifically like, or no, I guess that one would be the one, yeah.
Test.
Um,
Yeah. So we know this is the building. That's not A. It's just more of like, hmm.
no, yeah.
Anyway, we
It's
can
more just
continue.
like looking, because like in the past cases, we have usually had to use all of this information at least once, generally.
Yeah.
So even if it's for
That's
small things. So it's just sort of thinking about what. Oh, I forgot about the anonymous telegram. An anonymous telegram
yeah.
with only one sentence. A homicide occurred at 79 Prilly Street. Interesting. So there was someone who also
Received
phoned
at
in.
2:05.
Yeah, received at 2:05. So that's also important because that was what. So someone reported the murder and knew it happened, and they also called
Yeah.
it a homicide, um, which is
Specifically
interesting.
called it a homicide, which is why it's like, hmm.
Yeah. So someone knows it's a homicide or is trying to throw it off for whatever reason. Hang on, I need to look at something.
Could have been the
Interesting.
think of someone basically, are you looking at the handwriting?
No,
Or,
I'm looking at the gear because this has been pointed out to have specifically a hexagonal circle in it, and I don't
yeah.
see a hexagonal circle on this player, on this Morse code player.
Oh no, it goes like, you don't?
I don't.
Is that not the hex? Because I thought that we saw it built. Didn't we see it built?
We saw a
We
belt
saw
on
it.
there, but I don't think we ever saw because this
We
wasn't
never
attached.
saw
They
it with.
found this on the floor next to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah, I thought
necessarily
we.
mean it goes into this,
Yeah.
which would point to this not actually belonging in this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But that's I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
more just am specifically curious about the needing to mention the hexagonal shape
Yeah.
because that
I
usually
mean,
implies importance.
wait, the hexagonal shape is on the. It's. Yeah. Is it still in the details too as well?
I that's the details are this.
Never mind. Okay then. Never mind. No, it's just like. Because it doesn't say in the evidence anymore. It just says a groove in the middle.
No.
So that's why I'm
Um
like, hmm. Anyway, but we have had some things where it's like not
There's
fully
also
explained
this,
on there,
which is
which
the
is
mesh is
unfortunate.
charred black with a thin iron wire taped tied at each corner. The central asbestos has been replaced with wax, which is an interesting thing, and I don't know how that connects to anything yet.
The wax was dripped on the body. Um,
Right. Well, I know this would imply the hanging of the knife up above or whatever. And there's the kerosene
true.
discussion, which again, the kerosene wire sort of situation, again, could also lend towards the idea of the burning of the knife trick situation. Um, I will be right back because I need to deal with my clothes real quick before
That's okay. Go
Mars and
ahead.
Kenzie get back because I need to free it up. But anyway, yes, I just wanted to review while we're here before we continue onward. So anyway, everyone take a break, stretch your legs. I'll be right back.
Okay. Stretch, stretch. How you doing, Mimsy? Currently in the middle of crimes. Crimes. So many crimes going on. Wondering? Because we're always going to get something new right now, too, as well, but I can't. There's just too much things that we're, like, not having enough information for. And it could just be a thing of where it's like we get one piece of evidence that relates to a timing thing, as well as the one piece of evidence we need, and we crack the whole case. It's just very much like a, you don't know what is going on yet. Because
while we've gotten information with the Jack the Ripper case, we also never got it added to our inventory. Just information of like, oh yeah, this happened and everything, and how it was never solved. Then we got the thing with the fires in the hospital, which was added to our inventory, and we can point that back to our Morse reel of how it was like, yeah, this hospital that he was working with the medications for. There's a chance that maybe he wasn't testing medications on him, but he was testing the hospital, and the hospital burned down, which leads to the connection there. Um, you just got a lot of things here. Another thing to his outfits. He's 423. Get a well, because one other thing with this case has that they've had hidden a lot of stuff on people's bodies, and that has been a part of things. Of like, oh yeah, because notice how they're holding this now, or notice how this is looking now on their items and stuff. Um, we haven't really seen any medals though. This guy is not suspicious. However, we still do need to find the thing that was wood carved on the thing, which I think is a very important tool that we're missing right now. Things that, if we list them out of things that we're missing right now, there is the wood carved, there is the book. Those are the two main things that we're missing. I feel that possibly a murder weapon, because I'm not sure if that dagger was actually the real murder weapon or not, because they've been mentioned with light. Now, it is possible that it was just a light weapon, and that's why they were able to hang it properly and for it to fall. But there's also a possibility it was replaced, or there was something, or if it's hollow too as well. Hmm. I guess if we could also find some traces of what he was actually testing, that could also help. There's the whole fact that it was a dipper that was pointing at something too. And so if there was something there that was like, what was he pointing at? He shrugged.
I will be back momentarily, chat. I gotta fold out my clothes and I will at least lay them out so I don't wrinkle. So, one moment.
Yeah, wrinkle thing is such important. Wrinkle is bad. I think overall the steak I made went turned out well. It tasted good. I think that it could maybe have been cooked a little longer, maybe. Um, definitely would have helped if it like had actual strong flavor of something. But like overall, it was fine. 8 out of 10 would make again, which is surprising because I am, as the kids say, real bad at cooking. Or I guess if I had potatoes. If I added potatoes to it, probably would have been good. Potatoes, I mean. And onions. If I cut potatoes and onions, toss them in as well. Boom. More food. More food always better than no food. I'm gonna try cooking rice in the leftovers and see if that works. It makes it taste good. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna try that real quick.
I'm back now. Hello? Did she leave me? Did she abandon me? It seems like she abandoned me. Can't believe it. Wait, I didn't mean to close my door. I need to open that. I don't know if Benji's in here or not. I think he is, but just in case. Anyway, she abandoned me. I cannot believe it. Wah, wah, wah. Can't believe it. Outrageous.
Okay. Hi. Sorry, I'm
You're
sorry. Hi,
back.
Toshi.
I
I'm
can't
back.
believe it.
No, do not take over my body.
Hi,
That's rude.
Toshi.
Anyway, so you want to know something important?
What?
You know how I said I turned it off?
Anyway,
Living with you is going to be a personal hell.
it'll be
You
okay.
are going
It'll
to
be
make my
fine.
OCD so bad. I'm going to be constantly checking to make
technically-
sure hot objects are turned off.
Hey, here's the thing, right? The problem with that is that Your OCD will be correct.
I know, Chinema. That's why you're gonna make it worse. Because you're gonna
I'm
give me more
sorry.
reason to worry. Because you're not gonna turn it off.
It's a fine. It's okay because I'm cooking now. I'm making rice with the leftover sauce thingy, and think how it turns out.
Okay. Alright.
I will.
I love you too.
Anyway,
And I'm mildly regretting my decisions. Anyway, we can continue now.
you can continue
Toshi, I
now.
don't know. I don't think Chinema knows.
It's called Spite,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Sure
lot of
is.
Sprite.
Yeah.
A lot of Sprite. I think
So
that has
much
to do with
Sprite.
some of it.
Mm-hmm.
So much Sprite. Like at least 5 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've drank that much in like a year. How much is a gallon actually?
You've drank more than a gallon.
I know I've drank more than a
You've
gallon.
drinking
Okay, I
so
know
much
this.
more than a gallon.
I'm just
You
trying to
drink
figure out how
full
much
liter bottles just because. You've
Yeah.
drunken more than a gallon.
So my issue is how much is it like?
There's
Cause
like 4
okay, so I
liters in
said
a
5 gallons,
gallon.
right?
I'm pretty sure
Four
there's
liters in
4
a
liters in
gallon.
a
Okay.
gallon. No, 4 quarts in a gallon, I think. No?
4 quarts in a gallon. Yeah, it's four
Yeah.
quarts. Liters is
There's
a
like
different
2
system.
liters
No
in a
problem.
quart, I think.
No, that's 2 pins. Liter or a different system. Anyway, my problem is, as you can see, there are different systems. So, like, I can definitely say
There are
that
3.7 liters in a gallon.
okay, how many fluid ounces a liter?
I'm not doing math. I'm too tired to be doing math.
Okay, never mind, never mind. We're not gonna do math.
I admit you.
Hi, Michi. Welcome.
The
We're
point
playing
is, you
Murder
have
Game.
drinking more than a gallon of Sprite within a year.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying,
So
like,
much more.
so I said 5 gallons. I said 5 gallons in a year.
I
My
think you've
issue
probably
was,
drinking more than 5 gallons in a year.
is it 5 gallons in like a month? Is my problem. That's what I was
I
trying to
wouldn't be
figure out.
surprised. Probably not in a month. In a couple months.
People won't know.
Anyway,
Mr.
can we
Shen,
continue with
this
the
here
game?
is. I mean, we can.
Go, do it.
Okay. Mr. Shen, this here is Surgeon Gaunt in charge of investigating your brother's case.
Okay. Family of the deceased. The investigation into this case is done and dusted. I guess I gotta have that accent or whatever. Sign here. Sergeant Gaunt, I can't sign it yet. What do you say? My brother would never kill himself. You questioning the police, are you? No, I just feel that.
Mr. Shen, we hold your brother's case in the highest regard very seriously. Suicide is the conclusion reached after meticulous investigation and careful consideration. Whether Joseph or the more experienced Sergeant Gaunt, both are on board with this conclusion.
Ain't you here to collect the remains? No signature? No go with the rest of the bleeding paperwork. My brother would never commit suicide, but if I sign this paper, it means this case is closed. I cannot sign so easily like this.
I'm not speaking gibberish. I'm speaking Scottish. There's a difference.
Brian, what have you been through?
Ow.
This feeling. It seems something is wrong.
Mr. Shen, are you feeling unwell? Something's been planted.
A voice tells me that. The bee? There is an inconsistency between a certain item
Yes.
I saw earlier in the documents in
Map.
my hands.
The map. The map. The map. The map. The map.
The
The map. The map. The map.
You're
The
right!
map. The map.
Yeah! Officers, I noticed that the letter B is marked on each folder. Is this the police station's code or identifier?
Hi, that's our station code. We're mainly responsible for security in Kensington.
The map indicates the house where the murder occurred is located in the city of Westminster. On the map, Westminster is labeled with the code A. You questioning if we ain't got the authority? I'm just raising a reasonable doubt.
I mentioned to you before, we retrieved the initial distress telegram. That day, I showed Joseph the distress telegram. He can't the address, so we went together.
The person who sent the telegram is crucial. He is likely a key witness. We should continue. The scene's a locked room, and the only fingerprints are the murder weapon on your brothers. Just these 2 bits alone are enough to peg it as a suicide. Unless you can cough up some proper evidence, go on and get out of my sight. Brother, what is a detective? Oh, that's younger baby. Brothers, what is a detective?
A detective is like an adventurer who ventures into various places. But they always manage to spot details that others may overlook.
Perhaps there are some details that I have overlooked. If you claim my brother stabbed himself, this piece of evidence seems peculiar.
Okay, they're saying he...
If you claim my brother stabbed himself, this piece of evidence seems peculiar.
I would say the dagger.
Yeah, because I think it's that at the end of the handle.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, because end could just refer to this, as in the grip. So
actual
maybe not
handle.
that. Maybe not.
But the problem is, what else would it be?
Let's look at
my only other thing is the robe.
Homicide occurred on the street. I would argue that could possibly contribute just because it says homicide specifically, but I don't think that's going to be the answer. It's going to be some stupid bullshit. Anyway. 7 candles on the floor.
Yeah.
No shallow scratches on their sides. Groove in the middle. Used on the day of Brian's death, the Morse code paper reel detached from it. When police arrived at the scene, the phonograph was playing the peaking opera set in star lamp. Very high scorch marks on the flame. The lock showing signs of rust hasn't been opened for years. It was found in my brother's hand. Only my brother's fingerprints were found on the key. Burned paper ash were found on the body. There were also intelligible writing. The mesh was charred black with an thin iron wire tied to the corner. Central asbestos has been replaced with wax. The book is missing. It should have ink stains on the spine. Not sure when it was taken away. There are many reasons for the contusion of the body, most related to paralysis of the back nerves due to stimulation. A photo of my brother.
Because remember, the idea that we had was that it was strung. The knife was strung and it was burnt. But they're saying that he specifically stabbed himself.
Well,
which is
yeah,
why I
but
the dagger.
I'm worried that they're not going to count it.
Yeah, that's fair. There doesn't really seem to be anything else.
Oh, thanks for banning the
Just
bot.
from that last case. Yeah. I
What the fuck do you mean looks like a bayonet, Toshi?
The knife, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
Are we thinking of the same bayonet?
Probably not then.
We are not thinking of the same bayonet because the bayonet I'm thinking of is the kind that you attach to a rifle.
Yeah, because that's what a bayonet is. You attach it to a rifle.
That does not look like a fucking bayonet.
No, the actual, not the handle, but, the actual knife.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No, bayonets look so much more like... The pictures I'm looking at look way not even, most of them. To me, it just looks like a cartoonish dagger. I don't really know. The bayonet that I am specifically thinking of are really, really long.
It looks long.
I see some that are smaller, yes, but we're not thinking of the same dagger, though. I'm thinking of bayonet as in the long ones, and also a lot of these bayonets don't have the little circle on the end of the handle, and also still tend to have, uneven, what are they called? The little guards, generally.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, I'm gonna show you a picture of what I'm talking about. Because when you say It does not look like fucking the bayonet that I'm thinking of. I don't know what daggers you're taping to the end of your rifles, but that is certainly not what I am using.
I was talking about just the blade, not the handle.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't. It just looks like a generic blade to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the kind of bayonet I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one that I kind of imagine too, just with like that kind of blade, and that's why I'm very
No.
The thing is with bayonets is that I feel like I remember them being like slightly roundish.
So many blades are slightly roundish. What are you talking about?
It's fine, whatever. We're continuing it. We're continuing. We're ignoring this bayonet situation.
Grr.
Okay. Thanks for looking. But yeah, I want to say dagger, because the other only option is the string, the kerosene string. But yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just.
Thank God. I was gonna fucking lose my mind if we had to fucking do that bullshit all over again. Where it's like, what the fuck is it? We know what happened. What the fuck is it? Officer, something still puzzles me. The fingerprints found on the dagger belong to my brother's left index and thumb. And the fingerprints are located at the end of the dagger handle. It seems that he wasn't gripping the dagger, but rather holding it between two fingers. In this position, how could he have stabbed himself in the chest with the dagger? Clearly, that ain't the way he held the dagger when he offed himself. But if he held the dagger in a different way, there should have been more fingerprints left. Not necessarily.
We speculate your brother held the dagger through his shirt sleeves. No fingerprints were left.
So,
but that would have wiped the other ones.
Yes, and also, how would you not assume the killer could have also done this? How are you going to entertain the idea that the man who killed himself would go through the effort to hide his own fingerprints from the weapon, but not a killer?
A little silly, ain't it?
I wish people could see me slowly turn to look like in the camera like a madman. If he intended to kill himself, why would he avoid leaving fingerprints on the dagger? That doesn't matter. You...
Mr. Shen, did I get upset? We're not trying to make things difficult for you deliberately. The detail your question, even if it's in doubt, it does not change the conclusion. There's a locked room, door, windows, skylight, all locked up from the inside. The only key was in your brother's hand. A nice second person who could have combined to act in such a situation. Not true.
Are there truly no other possibilities?
Brainstorm the truth about the locked room. Let's go.
Is there a possibility that the killer had copied a key in advance?
Mr. Shan, I already told you. I'm sorry, I hate you.
I'm sorry, I got totally... He's fucking cosplaying as the other guys, I swear to God, this man.
Again, as we discovered, we know that Shen has dead, so it's fine. It's okay.
Or just some kind of dissociative condition. I don't think it's specifically dead.
Yeah.
There are some dissociative conditions that can act similar to did that aren't actually did.
Yeah.
But...
It's just the one that's the name I'm most familiar with, which is why.
Okay, so here's the question. Here's the important acting question. Do we still read for the characters we are, or do I do it as Shen trying to pretend to be these characters?
I think it'd be really funny if you was Shen trying to pretend.
Alright, ready? I gotta do a bad Scottish accent. Hang on. Mr. Shen, I already told ye. The key that was in your brother's hand was the only key to the room. It's not that difficult to duplicate a key. You know nothing about your own ignorance.
I think I should do the your voices here. That's what I'm thinking.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Both of them?
No, just your, as in like whenever Shen is cosplaying as someone you voiced.
All right, sure. Go ahead.
It's so obvious that the police would have it. It's so obvious the police would have overlooked it.
This is so fucking funny. I can't believe he's never done this before. Shen, where was this? I can't believe it. The key features a unique Eastern design, which ye haven't seen in the case file. I consulted several locksmiths to verify this, and none of them can replicate it exactly. Is it really true? But why would Auntie Chang's house use such a complex keys and locks?
The reason is not important. What's important is that this turns the crime scene into a locked room.
I like how his hair is brown when being the other sergeant, but when he's this one, his hair is not blonde. It's just gray. Like, something about that is extremely funny.
No, this is fine. That's because Morgan has also, done accent classes, kind of.
In my defense, in my defense, I just do silly accents in the shower sometimes.
I just do silly voices.
Yeah.
Morgan can actually do accents.
In my defense, I'm trying to become an accent man, ever so slowly.
Yeah. Which I would like to be able to do. It's just also a lot more work, and I can just make silly voices. I can make silly voices. And I can make a lot of noises and sounds.
There may be other possibilities that exist. The only key to the room was in my brother's hand, which suggested that the killer
didn't need the key.
Didn't need the key. Perhaps the killer didn't need the key at all. If there was no key, how did the killer lock the door? The killer didn't need to use a key to lock the door because...
He never entered the room?
Didn't need to use the key to lock the door. That never entered the room doesn't really make sense.
There isn't really a place... I mean, I guess hidden in the room is possible. However, I think the answer is more room never locked or never entered the room.
I think never locked because this could be a callback to the original case. Where it was a locked room mystery, except it wasn't.
Yeah.
Let's try it. I mean, this is just brainstorming, so I don't think there's any punishment for being wrong. What is this, actually?
This is our brainstorming
Fascinating.
Thing, so,
okay.
Yeah, we're like going through each of these, like, hey, which one is it?
Interesting.
We're going insane.
Okay. I have heard of cases where the killer creates the illusion of a locked door. I literally solved one. But in reality, the door was never locked. The possibility you mentioned does not exist. The lock latch was damaged when we first opened the door. I and Joseph have repeatedly checked, and we are certain that the door was locked. It seems that this hypothesis does not align with the facts. I need to reconsider.
Okay, so yeah, that one can't be. Room had to be locked.
Okay. Use the locked room method. Okay. Well, no, I want to reconsider it. I want to
reconsider.
I know I clicked it.
I think you have to go. I think you have to go back and click. Go back to didn't need a key and then reconsider.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're all good. It did not explain that. So that was a very much it didn't explain that. Let's try never enter the room. Look at his head. He's a silly little head.
Oh, and we can also go this direction. Oh no, is this where the alternate endings come in? Oh no. Oh god.
I think this might come through the...
Oh no. I didn't save! So I'm gonna save right now. I'm gonna save it all the way over here. Okay, anyway. Let's try hidden the room.
Yeah, Mooney told us that there's 19 hidden different endings in this,
yeah.
I think it was.
Jesus Christ. Well, technically, look, there's like 20 something.
26,
so some of them are probably just bad endings for...
Yeah.
Actually, wait, let me look. I think, if I can find it. Yes, so some of them are a fucking,
the bad endings.
Are the bad endings of other cases. Okay, that helps.
Which one was the end?
But that means a
which
lot
one
of
was
these are
another-
just endings to this one, so that's interesting.
Wait, go back to what was another homicide? Which case was that?
That was the boat one.
That was the boat one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was the
Because
boat
this was the
So-
only one that we actually
Yeah,
have failed.
you actually failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we ran out of health on
So then-
and failed.
Because after the boat, we met Amelie here.
Yes.
So that means pretty much anything after the boat is probably one of these.
Yep. Well, I mean, this probably
Right.
also has some of its own bad endings, but presumably.
Well, no, because there could have been another bad ending with us saying the wrong thing for Elle. Sorry, I wanted to call her the princess. It's like you know how like after we figured out who the actual murderer was Elle. But we're like, hey, okay, one of the bad endings could have been like, oh no,
I
she
don't
just
think that was gonna lead us to a bad ending. I think that was just gonna be a moral fucking. That was just gonna be a different. I don't think that was gonna lead to a different ending. That'd be really because that a different ending implies ended the game. Like we had to physically reset in order to continue the game. I don't think that choice had that much weight on whether or not we ended. It might have an effect on the ending of the game, like a big ending, but I don't think it had to affect like an immediate consequence of sorry, you can't possibly continue from this point on.
Yeah,
because,
that's fair.
Because the other endings are implied to be because we had a choice like that earlier in the game where we physically saved and we tried both of the options and they both kind of led to the same result.
Yeah.
So it probably would have just either done that or, just kept going. But
Just keep going.
so far it seems like the only endings I can see, like actual like game over endings, are the ones where you run out of health bars during interrogation sections.
Okay.
I don't know. We can figure it out later.
What was the accent you did again for Grant? Repeat it.
What?
Repeat the accent for Grant.
A British one?
A British one?
Yeah. Just
Say
a random
sense-
I
say
wasn't.
sense
I
like-
wasn't really being very. Very what?
Nothing. It's fine. Okay.
I wasn't being very. I wasn't doing it very specifically. It was kind of all over the place. But yeah, just a generally British, just fucking Cockney accent. Anyway.
Okay.
Perhaps the killer was hiding inside the room all along and only left after the police came. The room was clear at first glance. There was no hiding place for someone. If someone dared to do that, we would have caught them already. It seems that this method lacks feasibility. I need to reconsider.
Okay.
Perhaps the killer never actually entered the house.
Ooh, flash.
On the day of the incident, he seemed low-spirited, disoriented, and walked unsteady. Auntie Chang said that my brother's face looked odd when he came back to the house at noon. Is it possible that he was already injured before the returning home? You mean he was stabbed outside and returned to lock himself indoor to avoid being chased? And died inside the locked room? That's exactly it. But when Miss Chang was questioned, she never mentioned bloodstains on his body or knife wound on the chest. Perhaps she didn't notice.
Ridiculous. She observed the victim's facial expression so carefully. How could she have not noticed the victim's chest and a knife inserted?
This...
And the bloodstains on the victim's clothes don't show a downward flow trend. This indicates the victim was not in a standing position before his death. Lad, solving a case is not like reading detective novels. Speculation to be only on evidence.
It seems that this is not the right direction. I need to reconsider. It is possible that the killer left through the window, and then somehow locked the window again.
Cody, explain this.
Mr. Shen, you also checked it. Both of these windows were locked from the inside. Perhaps the killer locked the windows using this method. Did we finally... Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Because we have a whole other branching path to fucking deal with over there, too. Fascinating.
I mean, there's a chance that the branching path that way doesn't go anywhere.
True. I mean, we could go back right now and check it.
Yeah, if you want to.
Do you wanna?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
because that way we could just stop here and we could just continue real quick.
Yeah. What?
Return the key.
Okay, sorry. Perhaps the killer locked the room and then somehow returned the key.
Oh, how was it returned? Okay, never mind then.
What?
No, I'm just saying, like, because this also leads us to a lot more choices than I thought it was going to.
Well, yeah, no, my thought was that it's going to do that, but my curiosity is if all three of these lead to dead ends or just are dead ends, or if they, like, or if they also extend further. That's what I'm kind of testing right now.
Oh, got it. Okay, never mind then. Continue.
Let's try through
the door.
Through
the skylight.
Because the skylight would be the most obvious one. Most likely the key was returned through the door. Indeed, the door is usually the only entrance and exit point of the room. However, how could the killer return the key to the victim's hand through the door? See, okay, so it is fucking, like, just branching and branching and branching and branching. Okay, fascinating.
Okay. Let's lock the other two since we know that it's not the other two.
I just want to get, like, a completionist of this web here. The killer could have returned the key through the window.
Again. Have you not been to the scene?
Mr. Shen, do you remember? The windows were locked from the inside. The window handle is very tight. It takes a lot of force to latch it. Allow me a moment to think again. Okay. The killer could have returned the key through the skylight.
Are you serious?
Yes, this possibility exists.
Cody, explain this.
Mr. Shen, this might not be possible. The skylight is locked and the glass is also undamaged. There are scorch marks on the window frame. Perhaps the killer used a heat to open the glass? Dust accumulated on the glass. Traces would be found of it if it had been touched. This is not the case. It seems that this is assumption that does not align with the facts. I need to reconsider. So do we want to follow the door thought, or do we want to follow the exit from the window thought?
Exit from the room, because that's the one we were originally on.
Okay. I'll save just to keep us, because these also might end up leading us to dead ends eventually, where we have to go.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm curious about. Are we going to basically lead to one conclusion, or are we going to lead to two possible branching paths? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see.
Let's
Is
see.
it possible that the killer left through the window, and then somehow locked the window again?
Cody, explain this.
Mr. Shen, you also checked it. Both of these windows were locked from the inside. Perhaps the killer locked the windows using this method. God. Okay, do you want to go back? Oh, no, we're already... Oh, I'm sorry.
We're still here. We're still here. Use something to lock the door.
He must have used a certain mechanism inside the house to rotate the window handle. What items? Ooh.
Thread. Because that's the only thing that I could think of.
Yeah.
Oh, no. If we need to... Okay.
Let's try it. The killer could use a cotton thread to pull the window handle. There's no cotton thread tied to the window. The window handle is very tight. It requires a lot of force to latch it. That possibly means other things.
Don't waste any more time. Listen, if there was a mechanism to lock the windows of the crime scene, we would have found it.
It seems like this approach lacks practicality. I need to reconsider. So we could try that one again, because there might be something that we just have to have the actual,
correct thing for. Let's try the other ones first.
Yeah, let's try the other one first.
Because the next one I can think of is the, is the music. But the music was going.
Yeah, but that doesn't... The music isn't on a thread, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be on a thread to be... What we're saying is, like, it wasn't cotton thread. It had to be something else that turned it. Something, it could have been, like, the actual tonogram turning.
Okay.
The latch. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Perhaps the killer had an accomplice. While the police were investigating the crime scene, the accomplice secretly locked the windows. But at the time, there were only Joseph and me in the room.
So who do you think is an accomplice, Cody or Joseph?
This.
So Joseph's.
Well, I mean, we were saying, like.
If the police are accomplices, then a reason is pointless.
Indeed. The authenticity of any evidence would be in question.
A reasonable approach would be to.
I won't make this assumption unless there is clear evidence to prove that.
Let's start over from the beginning then.
Okay? So we're gonna leave that alone. Because that would. I mean, because he's right. It would technically make everything super confusing if we go in assuming that. So it's best to assume everything, nobody is lying, and everyone is being honest until proven otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the killer locked the window from the inside after the murder. It's not possible, as Joseph and I were in the room at the time.
Do you think the killer was one of them,
Oh, not
Cody
again.
or Joseph?
It's not completely impossible either. This is even more unlikely, Mr. Shen. And as I told you before, on that day, Joseph and I were at the police station until we received the telegram. Other people at the police station can vouch for that. Oh my god, slipping into Australian over there. It seems that this is not the right direction. I need to reconsider.
Okay, so we know it's not
exhaustive
that
exploration. Exploring every possibility is a must. Exploring all possible scenarios and something. Well, we got an achievement for that. So.
one. Nice.
Let's try over
Let's keep
here
going.
then for a little bit.
Save.
I know. I had to physically get to a point where I could save.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying this out loud.
No, not here. I'm just gonna read the rest of it. Explore every possible scenarios and brainstorm. Oh, well, we didn't get to every possible scenario. I didn't think. But okay. Most likely, the
Maybe
key
the
was
other
returned
three
to the door.
well, would be actually answers or the endings.
Maybe? Indeed, the door is usually the only entrance and exit point to the room. However, how could the killer return the key to the victim's hand through the door? Maybe using a mechanism? The killer may have used certain items in the house to construct a mechanism. A mechanism? What kind of mechanism could accurately deliver the key back to the victim's hand? Firstly, the killer would need to use an item to connect the key to my brother's hand.
Wow. The thread.
The thread.
I don't think the thread's right, but like.
No! The killer could have used a cotton thread from the kerosene bottle to transport the key. But the police didn't find any cotton thread on the floor. After returning the key, he could ignite the cotton thread soaked in kerosene and burn it. But there are no traces of kerosene containment or scorch marks on the key. Allow me a moment to think again. Oh, we didn't even take a hit from that. Okay.
Yeah. Let's look. Okay. There's the paper which was found near the body, right?
There's also this fucking mesh thing.
Yeah, that was found on the floor near him, and presumably was hanged above on the window.
Could he have attached to his hand? That's a strange one.
I want to say the paper.
We can try the paper.
Yeah. That sounded solid.
No. It seems completely unrelated to the transportation of the key. Allow me a moment to think again. Oh, there we go. Now we got it.
Let's try
the key to my brother's hand.
a hint.
Hint. To connect the key to Brian's hand, the killer would have to use a long ribbon.
Ooh, that's why it's
there
bent
we
over.
Go. Then, yeah, one side's clean and the other's dirty. Duh! And it had a loop around it. It was folded weird. Fucking duh.
Yeah. My issue was that I never really understood why one side was clean and the other was dirty.
Well, this is obviously why, because it was dragged along the ground.
Yeah.
We're just dumb. It's okay.
I'm so silly.
We're both silly. The killer likely used this Morse code paper to bring the key into the house. A Morse code paper reel. The inner side of the paper strip is dirty and shows some signs of wear. I suspect that these marks are caused by the paper strip being dragged on the ground.
Not feasible. First of all, the orientation of the telegraph machine is an issue. The paper reel on the telegraph machine is facing toward the table, not toward the door. That's why the notches were there, because the notches and it was to turn it.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the telegraph machine, the victim, and the door do not align. There's not only a difference in angle, but also a difference in height here. Now you tell me, how could the killer use this paper strip to return the key back to your brother's hand?
The paper strip is not enough. The killer should have used some other items in the room as well. Which items exactly make up the mechanism, and how do they work? I need to organize my thoughts properly.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. We gotta
Nice.
make a little Rube Goldberg here.
Good
The killer
boy.
likely created a mechanism using the paper strip and some other items in the room to return the key back to my brother's hand. I need to figure out these items. I think I know one of them.
Okay, so
please do
phonogram.
Yeah, because the phonogram and the roll.
Yeah.
Can I
Let's
move these?
put
No.
the
Please let me expect. Yeah, because this would be the most
yeah phonogram,
potentially.
and then it's the it's the phonogram. It's the what's it called? The chair. It is the what's it called? The little dipper. That laid to the hand, and there's something in between the hand and the door, which is my thing that I'm trying to figure out.
Well, hang on, hang on, because we have to make sure. Let's just figure out what order we actually have to be putting these here.
Okay.
The only key to the room was found in my brother's hand, and it was the key in my brother's left hand. Bruises were present on the fingertips, and there are wood shavings in the nail crevices. So which side is this? Which direction are we going? I guess from here.
The key to the hand.
Yeah, but
To
what
out,
is between
right?
the key and the hand?
I want to say that the Morse reel.
Okay.
So that's what was directly connected, right? Then I want to say oh, sorry, that was a bad sound in my ear. I want to say from the phone. It sounded like static for a second.
Oh.
I want to say the next thing is the Little Dipper.
But why?
The Little Dipper, because that way.
No, here's what's bothering me and why I think we need to get on the same page here, because what's confusing me is that this should be the end of the line. Key to hand. Yes, because this is key to hand. But for some reason it's here. And that's what's confusing me right now in terms of what we're supposed to place in what order.
So the reason why I'm saying key to hand is that I'm going at the direction.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what the game is asking from us. Because I don't think we're on the same page here.
This is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What I'm thinking here is that the way that the film reel moved, not the film reel, the Morse reel moved.
No, I agree with you. My issue is that hypothetically we're trying to explain how the key got into his hand. What device was set up to get it to in his hand? And that's what's kind of confusing me right now.
Yeah. Because... Do you want to click review?
Yes, that's what I was trying to do, but we kept talking. Okay.
Sorry.
I was trying to explain that I needed you to slow down so I could process what's happening so I can understand what we're trying to do.
Got it. Sorry. My brain go for...
It's okay. I love you. I'm very, very tired, so I unfortunately really, really need to fucking be able to think.
Yeah. It's fair.
Okay, I think I understand. I understand now. I think. Or I guess, I don't, but would the strip go at the end here? Because hypothetically it goes key something to hand, to Big Dipper, to stool, to phonograph, to end.
Yeah, do we have a photo of the stool?
Yes.
We do, okay. So, then I want to say the film reel is probably not going to be one of the clues instead, because we already know
there's no way we have enough stuff here for it.
Hmm?
There's no way we have enough stuff here for it.
For it not to be one of the things?
Yeah. Because
No, I think.
if we need Big
Mhm.
Dipper, that's 1, phonograph 2, reel 3, stool 4. Oh, I guess.
No, I don't think. I don't think. I think it's either the phonograph or the reel, not both of them.
Okay, you just tell me where I put them.
Okay, I think it's either the phonograph or the reel on the right.
On the far
Going
right?
from right to left.
On the very,
Yeah,
very
far
end.
right. Very end. Yeah, going from right to left. Next thing I think of is going to be the stool. Next is the Little Dipper. Or the Big Dipper. Then after that, I think has to do either the skylight or the asbestos.
Why?
Because if we look at the layout of the room,
But why?
If we're
How would the
trying to
fuck would it
figure out-
get up there?
no, as in like the way that the mesh was hanging it. Because my whole thing is that I'm looking at the layout of the room to make this little pattern of what they showed in that few seconds of how the diagram of the room looks like.
Yes, but
to
I
be able
don't
to
understand why would it have to be in the air?
Because that's the only thing that was inside that position on the floor was the wax.
Okay. I'm gonna put the wax in because I don't think the skylight's gonna possibly be relevant to that.
Okay,
Do you want to
I'm
submit
just trying
this?
to think. I'm trying to think if there's anything else real quick. Yeah, because I don't know if we need to include the actual... No, because we wouldn't need to. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with this.
Another item is needed to connect the key and the power source together. We're gonna need the reel. That's like the key
Okay,
part
then.
of this.
Yeah, let's try the reel instead of there.
There we go. So
Hee hee.
that's how it
My
is.
brain is big.
It is.
My brain is so big.
Mm-hmm. Officers, I know how the killer returned the key.
Mr. Shen, then please share your thoughts.
The killer used this Morse code paper slip as a rope to place the key in my brother's hands. He inserted one end of the paper slip into the key's chain hole and bent the back in reverse. Used my brother's hand to hold onto the strip. What?
The way that they put the thing there.
Next, he used the candles to change the direction of the strip and keep it down with a low stool. Installed the reel onto the phonograph. When the phonograph was activated, it retrieved the paper strip and pulled back the key. The key had resistance when passing through the hand, causing the strip to detach. Then the key stayed in his hand. This is the method the killer used to return the key. Interesting. Since the Morse code paper reel is a component of the telegraph machine, we all instinctively assumed that it could be installed on the telegraph machine. But in fact, the telegraph machine can't retrieve paper strips. What truly aided the killer in this scheme was the phonograph by the desk.
A phonograph can have so many uses?
There it is, the little fucking
Hexagon.
hexagon we were looking for.
Hexagon. Morgan.
This nut has the same hexagonal shape as the slot in the center of the paper reel. By fixing the paper reel here, the killer could retrieve the paper strip using the phonograph.
The paper reel could truly be installed here. However, the paper reel was installed here. It cannot detach by itself.
Maybe it could.
Well, we did find it on the ground.
Maybe it fell. I still need to point out to Officer Jones the location that caused the paper reel to detach.
Oh, when the music is played. It's the actual film reel. Because when it's played, it moves across the thing, right?
It is indeed this phonograph's tone arm that causes the paper reel to detach. Officers, please take a look. The phonograph's tone arm continuously shifts to the right during music play. The tone arm pushes the paper reel away, and the reel rolled to the position where it was found. So, the killer's artifice of creating a locked room illusion stands completely exposed.
Mr. Shen, that's truly an enlightening deduction.
What's your opinion, Sergeant Gaunt?
It's blowing.
Your speculation does have a certain level of... Oh my god, I'm stuck in the Scottish. Your speculation does have a certain level of... Oh my god, I'm stuck in it. Fuck. Hang on. British. I got to go British.
Can't ever
Your
go back to
speculation does
Scottish.
have a certain level of plausibility. There it is. Could the police say that... But... Speculation is just speculation. Cracking a
What does that
case
mean?
comes down to evidence and facts. My statements are backed by factual evidence. Oh my god, British. Your speculation does seem to explain some of the phenomena at the scene. But there are still fatal contradictions between it and some crucial facts. What facts? Time. Between 1:40 and 2:30 that afternoon, the cafe downstairs heard uninterrupted phonograph music. If the killer turned on the phonograph to transport the key back into the room, then before 1:40, he must have locked the door and left the scene. According to the autopsy, your brother's fatal time of death is estimated to be 2 and 3. I mean, unless the person who did the autopsy lied, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah. It's okay, don't worry about it.
Of course, it can be narrowed down to further 2 to 2:28. He was dead when police arrived. You catch what that implies? Even following your speculation, your brother got stabbed after the killer left the room. Well, that blows the foundation of this reasoning out of the water, doesn't it? Is it possible he was attacked before 1:50, with death occurring after 2? You know he died from a weapon piercing his left pulmonary artery, causing sudden cardiac arrest. In other words, he died instantly right after getting stabbed. The blood stains at the scene confirm that as well. Could this situation be due to
Delayed murder.
late murder?
Delayed murder.
Since the door was locked first, then the murder, the killer likely employed a method to delay the time of murder. How can that be possible? There are no signs
Back
of
to the
binding or
brainstorm.
defensive wounds on your brother's what?
Back to the brainstorm room.
Probably. Wounds in your brother's body. Would he just stand by and watch the killer set up a killing mechanism? I suspect my brother had lost the ability to move at the time because he was poisoned.
Asbestos wax.
What?
No, I was saying this one probably. Presumably, because
My
that was
brother
like
had lost the ability to move at that time because... Why would it be this?
I think I'm jumping to too many conclusions. Sorry. We'll continue.
I think we're
looking
just
first.
covering why he wasn't able to move.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it was because
They would notice if he was
He-
waxed to a chair.
No, that's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying he was waxed to a chair. I'm sorry. I was saying that I think that it was like incense or something that made him pass out.
This
Some
is
sort
an
of drug.
incense.
No. I was thinking that incense was carried in that and that melted. It might just be the paper, the burned
That,
paper.
I think, is definitely jumping to way too many conclusions.
burned paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
wrong.
think so. Unburned paper found by my brother's body is highly unusual. Perhaps this paper is a crucial item for creating a delay device? Cody, you take a crack at explaining this.
It's just a speculation. Relying on it might not be convincing enough.
Allow me a moment to think again.
Ouch.
I'm pretty sure the implication is we're trying to say he was poisoned.
Yeah.
There was never any implication of incense ever.
Yeah, I was assuming he was poisoned by the quote-unquote incest. Sorry, I just like, you know, how like...
But never was incense ever implied at any point yet.
My brain filled in the blank.
See, this is why I get upset the fact that last time when I had a theory, you were like, no, Morgan, that is clearly impossible.
Because it was.
And then meanwhile, you're sitting here being like, oh yeah, it was the incense, guys. That incense that we all talked about.
Because I forget things.
This is why I'm gonna kill you. You forgot something that didn't happen.
Yeah. And...
It could be the recently healed wound, maybe? It just needs to be something to prove that he was poisoned. I guess we could just try this one, because the body is contorted would be the biggest evidence towards...
Yeah.
It's the only thing I could
Yeah.
think of. Please,
Do you want to check
game?
in?
Nope. Ah! Okay,
Yep.
good. Okay, good. We're not crazy. I've been so gaslit since that last one. It's just, I can't trust myself anymore.
Gaslit.
Well, it's because I'm always right, as we all know.
What?
It's because I'm always right, as we all know.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing, I think. I think I just forgot what happened.
Again, this is why you're not allowed to call any of my theories crazy, because you just make shit up sometimes. Anyway.
Name one time I've made something up.
Oh, it was the incense.
I didn't make it up. I just
Yes,
filled
you
my blank and I
did! You
forgot
just
what the
made
thing
up
was
something
called.
that was never even alluded to!
I forgot what the thing was called. Easy peasy.
What was called what? What paper
I
was
thought-
called?
No. I thought that, like, what we all agreed on was that there was something that wasn't the wax that was inside of the thing. Of
No.
the thing that, like,
No, we didn't!
burned. And therefore... I love you.
I'm gonna throw you into the bottom of the bay. I swear to God. Gonna fucking act like my theories based on things that the game has provided us are crazy, and you're just making shit up.
Crazy was not. Your theory was.
It was! It was based on things that the game had. Just because it wasn't true doesn't mean it was a crazy fucking theory that was completely impossible. Crazier shit has happened in Ace Attorney, Chinema. Hi, Vizian Cadet. How are you? My brother's autopsy report is the best evidence. Officer Jones mentioned that most contortions are related to paralysis of the back of the nerves. I suspect the killer used anesthetic drugs on my brother.
We've suspected this direction early on, but toxicology results came back all negative.
Perhaps a substance undetectable with current forensic expertise. Can't confirm or deny that possibility. But before delving into a drug angle, a more pressing question is, if there was no one in the room at the time, how did the weapon pierce the victim's chest? No crossbows or similar devices were found at the scene. Officer Jones, was the dagger vertical to the ground at the time?
At that time, the body was in coordinated position, the chest almost parallel to the ground. And what you miss, Vision, is that I'm always right and
No.
Morgan's sometimes wrong.
Chinema just makes shit up and then judges me for ideas that are based on things that are provided, that I explain. And then even though I explain it, I am told, no, there's no proof, actually. Meanwhile, Chinema will just say that it was an incense thing, even though the game has never mentioned incense once.
You don't know that. Maybe it did.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm
The
answering a question.
dagger was thrust vertically into his chest. Vertically into this chest. The dagger? The dagger was thrust vertically into
Hey,
his
1
chest.
second. I'm sorry. I'm typing something.
No, you're good. Sorry, I was making noises.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew you were typing something. Sorry, I will stop. It just seems like it was repeating.
Oh god, I have to look. Sorry, TLDR. It was again. This was one of those things. If I saw something and I'm like, I have to answer this right now, or I'll cry.
Yeah.
No, TLDR. Without getting too deep into it, there's some cat trouts going on for roleplay group, and generally, in the group, it has a Finnish setting, so the founder has generally allowed for names to be words that are either in English or in Finnish. And this is a rule that you can find on the page, just to be clear. I think they also do allow, I think we recently extended it to allow also, I think, Norwegian and like other kind of Scandinavian languages.
Yeah.
But someone was asking for the tryout, asking someone who, by the way, doesn't have the authority to answer this question, by the way, just to be clear. But again, I should also say this is also information that is easily found in the group. There is, like, on the rules page, this exists. But they were asking if a name in Japanese would be okay. And I'm sitting here like, technically this is the question for the founder and not me. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say a Japanese translation is not gonna be okay for this particular setting. Like, but anyway, sorry. It was just that thing of like, I have to answer this right now or I'm going to die.
Yeah, you're all good. I love you. Sometimes people are silly and don't like reading the rules.
Nope. No, this person has had some problems with that already. A couple people have some problems with that already. Anyway, sorry, back to it.
I just want to say for the record, I think I've drinking enough cans to have made chainmail.
Okay.
It can be considered as vertical to the ground.
Vertical to the ground. And the location where my brother was murdered happened to be directly beneath the skylight. This is likely not a coincidence.
Are you suspecting the killer hung the dagger on the skylight? On second thought, the skylight is very high, and it's impossible to reach without a ladder. Mr. Jing's house doesn't have a ladder. No signs of anything being moved at the crime scene. How was the dagger hung up then? Can I have flow there, can it?
Officer Jones, you reminded me. This item made me realize how the killer suspended the dagger.
The burnt paper. Because it's a lantern. Never mind.
So now the burnt paper isn't incense, it's a lantern now?
Leave me alone, it was always a lantern.
Okay. But a lantern that had incense in it?
No, I'm sorry. Okay.
I swear to God. You're gonna kill us again. We're gonna get another bad ending.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine because we can start over from here. The kerosene lamp.
Why would it be the kerosene lamp?
Because the okay, never mind.
Well, no,
it's
I'm asking
best-
genuinely. Why would it be the kerosene lamp? Do you think?
because I'm still on the topic of like what things could have been the lantern. So it's either the paper, the bottle of kerosene, or it's the asbestos wax,
Where are
which
you
is the
getting
candle.
the lantern from? This is an old photo, to be clear.
I know it's an old photo, but like
But
we
where are you
talked
getting
about.
a lantern in the current day about?
Because remember how it was set up to look like the festival thing, right? And
What
part
was
of it
made
was
to look like a
the-
set festival thing?
the whole like
The crime
setup of the
scene?
crime was.
Why would
Yeah.
that? Just because it's made to set up to look like the festival, why would that inherently imply a lantern? And also, I'm not saying a lantern couldn't exist. I just feel like you're again pulling this kind of from nowhere.
Let's just go with the asbestos wax, because at least we can say we can narrow that down to there was a candle on it.
But that doesn't explain how it got up there. The question is how it got up there. I don't think the bottle of kerosene is incorrect. I'm just asking why you think it's correct.
Because the lantern.
Identifying object which is hidden in a piece of evidence. We could try the kerosene lamp. Because it might be a lantern. Again, I want you to check your assumptions. Especially before you judge mine.
My assumptions make sense.
I will stop playing this with you if you keep saying that.
Oh,
Oh wow, look, we died again.
I'm sorry. Okay, it was the asbestos.
Listen, I get you're invested in this case, but we can't ignore the objective facts. You've got talent, lad. Consider this case a valuable learning experience.
Mr. Shen, sign away. Let's put an end to this case.
Shen Chongping didn't believe his brother committed suicide, but couldn't find evidence to refute the police's conclusion.
So you see, game and game event. Yeah, did that so much.
You're just
How
kind
did
of
that
picking
match?
things.
How did it not the mesh then?
I don't know, but
all
we're
the
not really
options.
sitting here and thinking about this. You're just saying things.
We need to figure out what could have let the.
Okay.
Okay, let's sit here together. Because here's what I think, if you would like to discuss this.
Yes.
I think that your lantern theory could be correct, but I think the evidence that is going to prove it is this. Because this is a picture of a lantern that would tell them that there could be a flying object that could have been involved. Which I'm sure will probably lead into this and explaining the paper situation. Do you have any objections?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just wish you again. I wouldn't be so upset and petty about this if you didn't try to make me seem like an idiot for having an idea based on what I was seeing in the game. And then you'll just point at things and say it's this thing, and then be wrong. I'm holding your face in my hands. You need to slow down and let us do this.
I can never slow down. I have to go fast. I have to go fast.
Swear to God. I swear to God.
I think this is gonna to wait like 3 minutes so I can breathe and stop dying.
Alright, everyone take a 3-minute break.
Because here's the thing with me going like, okay, it has to be any of these three pieces of evidence. And then it was none of them like, okay, there's literally nothing else can be. And it's like, no, it's a picture to them. I'm like, I'm sorry. Immediately. Because I went like, no, it was a lantern. I was like, I'm not gonna look at the one with the picture of the lantern though. I'm going to explain it the evidence on the hand, but it was
I mean, I clicked on the picture of the lantern, just to be clear.
yes, I know. I just there's a reason why we play detective games together, and there's a reason why, for some reason, I don't get frustrated with Ace Attorney and you two, even though it's like Ace Attorney moves too slow in your head. I'm like, yes, we already know this, and I have to click on this evidence of the piece of evidence before this evidence, like, put the thing together. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, I understand that. However, I clearly just like going faster anyway. While this game has been very recently timed out of like, hey, yes, we need to prove this, people to prove this, and we can't just say, oh, like, look at this evidence here. That's this piece of paper that has nothing to do with anything. It was a lantern. Can't you see? Like, I understand that. It was very much a thing, though, of me going and trying to do that in this game. When no, it wouldn't even be allowed in Ace Attorney. So I'm just. just drink my water and cry.
Mm-hmm. We can continue whenever you're ready. While I
Okay.
revel in this moment.
Okay. I just.
While I revel in my
Sometimes,
sweet vengeance.
sometimes your friend is mean to you, and they have every
You
right to
deserve it
be.
this time because you were really
And they
mean
have
to me
every.
about my previous theory.
Because your theory was wrong.
Just because it was wrong doesn't mean it was inherently impossible. You were acting as if it was completely like impossible, like unfathomable. I was pulling shit out of my ass like you do.
I'm doing my best.
You will
Anyway,
infer things based on things that don't actually exist in game. My thing are all things based on things that exist in the game. There's a reason I even ask clarifying questions when I'm playing certain games.
yeah. I just think it's so funny how it's like, yes, you can explain your whole theory out loud, and you've done this several times, and me going, no, 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 it was a lantern. You tried to just, like, it was a scene of me, like, understanding I was doing this problem of, like, you going, like, okay, no, just explain your logic to me. I'm like, it
Yes.
was a lantern. I can't
I
explain
have to
anything
because
else.
I know you do this. You just sort of. And sometimes you're correct, and sometimes you're completely correct. But you need to explain it to me so we can actually play the game together.
My brain just goes, no, no other answer. Only it was a lantern. Can't you see the answer already? It was a lantern.
I can't wait for Mooney
Boom,
to
that's
watch
how it
this.
was.
I can't wait for Mooney to witness this in lifetime.
Anyway, welcome to the stream frame pudding. As you can see, I am
Yes,
currently
welcome,
losing
Fern
my
Pudding.
mind as we play.
Oh, hi, Fern Pudding.
Literally the
Hi, I know
last.
who you are. Welcome. You're
Yeah,
joining
welcome, welcome.
at a. You're joining like 5 or 6 chapters deep into this game, but that's okay.
It's okay,
My
because
point
eventually the
is.
mods will be pointed. They'll be posted on his channel, so you can see the understanding of
They
why
will.
he's
I just have to
angry
make the
at me.
thumbnail. Mm-hmm.
He's so angry at me.
I'm so angry. I'm gonna throw this bottle across the country. It's gonna hit you in the
Across
head.
the stage.
I'm tired.
Because here's the thing, again, in presumably, hopefully, less than a year, you can just throw it to me from across the
Exactly.
room.
And hopefully, if all goes well, in less than a year, I'll be able to physically walk into your room like some of those other like streamers do.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just imagining it being like the thing of I hear you leave and start walking over, and me running and hiding
You
underneath
can
my
feel
bed,
an ominous force approaching.
and just either hiding in the closet or underneath the bed, and then just sitting there waiting.
God.
Kidding. Okay.
All right, are we ready to continue?
I have a headache, and so yes, let's continue because
We'll get to a stopping point. We're gonna need to soon. I need to.
yeah,
I
I
need to go to
know. It's
bed.
just more of like the thing of I am laughing too hard that my head hurts.
I
and
know.
Sorry.
It's really good.
Okay, okay. Mr. Shan's just in the photograph, along with the dagger, took off.
He means the lantern in the photo. That idea does have a touch of imagination, too.
But can't a lander truly carry a dagger and take off?
At room temperature, the air density is at 0. How do you fucking know this? Air density is at 0.08 pounds a foot feet cubed. The hot air in the lantern is about 0.6 pounds per
Okay, here's the thing here. I think the problem is that's been translated into English, and that shouldn't have been, and that should be enough meters.
35 feet cubed volume lantern, excluding its own weight, can lift an object. Why do I keep going in Australian? I'm British. Excluding its own weight, can lift an object weighing up to 9.17 ounces. The dagger weighs 5.64. The dagger... Oh my god, I've lost it. That's fine. He's just gonna be Australian, I guess. The dagger, which weighs about 5.64 pounds, requiring a 24 foot per cube of lantern volume to lift it.
It sounded like more like you were closing your teeth while doing it.
Well, I'm very, very tired. I don't want to open my mouth very much. Because unfortunately, that is what it is.
No, never mind. Never mind then.
What?
I was saying that the English voice was more closed mouth, not the Australian.
No, the Australian. Okay, for eye accents personally, this isn't professional advice, by the way. People don't take this as professional. Generally, if I'm doing a proper British accent, I need to open my mouth wider, but it takes more energy to do it like this. Because I have to basically make my mouth more vertical. Australian is easier to do with a wider mouth, which unfortunately takes a little less effort for me. So that's why I keep slipping into an Australian one. That's the secret I've learned between the British and the Australian accent. So that's my problem. Is that the reason I'm talking with my teeth so much is because I don't want to open my mouth very wide because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Sergeant Gaunt's calculations are precise and admirable.
Never thought Sergeant Gaunt's math skills were so deep and unfathomable. Unbelievable.
Just a bit of private hobby, you know. There we go, I found it again a little bit. Just a bit. It's gonna die again pretty quick.
It's okay. Die again, like the music. So why wasn't there Latin found in the crime scene?
And now we're gonna get to that. So Lantern probably broke into paper scraps.
Paper?
And then probably
the paper
this.
scrap.
And then maybe...
And then I want to say the wax on the body.
The wax on the body?
But I don't know if that's been, like... I don't know if that's a clue we can put up.
It would probably have to be the autopsy report, because on the autopsy report it says so.
Yeah. Then let's try instead the kerosene.
Yeah. We'll try the kerosene, and if that doesn't work, we can try that one. That, or it would be the window, or the frame.
The scorch lights, yeah.
Actually, it might be the scorch lights. What do you want to try more, the autopsy report or the scorch marks?
Let's go with the lantern. Sorry.
What?
Skylight. Let's go with the skylight.
Okay, thank you. No, okay.
Sorry, my brain just auto-filled it. Okay, then.
Scorch marks the end of the dagger handle caused. Okay, maybe then kerosene.
Yeah, kerosene.
Right? Yeah? If not,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yes. I got it.
Hey. We're so smart.
We are. We're so smart when we work together and communicate as a team.
Communicate as a team.
The asbestos mesh serves as the base support for the lantern, with stone wax as the heat source. This partially burnt piece of oiled paper should be part of the lampshade. On the lab table, there is a stack of identical large, lightweight sheets of paper.
I can't wait the method the killer used to completely burn the lampshade like that.
I believe the lampshade must have been brushed with kerosene. When the flames spread, it could burn down the entire sky lantern.
No wonder there were paper hashes at your brother's body.
The position where the lantern hangs from the ceiling was not controllable. How did the killer ensure that the falling dagger would definitely stab the victim? Because it was on a string, probably. Besides, about the death time delayed, how did the control the timing of the dagger's descent? There should be another mechanism at the scene, composed of a sky lantern and some other items. Oh god, not again. No, not more of this. Oh god. Okay.
Okay, anyway, also, so thank you,
Fern Pudding, for the follow.
Yes, thank you, Fern. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
So
Clearly
this, I
we
think,
know
would
that
be
the
the
one.
falling action, then, maybe.
Yeah, it might be the same three. No, I think the one to this. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
I think the one that's to the side of the dagger is the Bestos mesh.
This?
Yeah.
No, this would be above, wouldn't it?
Well, because
Because
saying
this is
that
what
like
the
candle.
dagger would be attached to.
No, because see how in click review real quick, so I can explain what I mean first, because I need to show you the words to make it make sense.
To address the delay and limit issues with the dagger's placement, there must be another set of mechanisms on site. I need to select the items that compose it.
Yes. Okay. So I want to say that this is, again, like how it was labeled from how it was like, hey, here are the items across the room that was put together.
So
I want to
here's...
say that this is the things that landed on the ground. Everything else is what was in
I
the
don't
air.
think that's what this is. I'm pretty sure this is the order of, like, the dagger was at the bottom, attached to the lamp, or maybe to something else, which would probably be this, because of the wax that's on it. This would be something possibly tying it to the ground, I think.
Okay.
Because this is a part of the
Then-
lantern, physically. That's what was
Yes.
sort of discussed.
Then I want to say instead that it's going to be the cotton thread that the knife was attached to. Because then it burns.
Because that's what I was going
and
to say.
that's
I
why
think
was
this
like-
is over here. Because this was what was maybe tying it to the ground or tying it to... This is either going to be here or here, and then whatever it was tied to is over here.
Yeah. We
just
know
don't
that.
what is.
Here.
I'm assuming the skylight's up here.
Yeah. Not the books. Not the really. Can we look at the?
Look at what?
Let's look at the magnifying glass. Nope.
What?
Morse code reel.
Okay.
No, not the reel. Not the reel. Not the Morse code
I
reel.
mean this.
The actual telegraph machine. Yeah. Because presumably we know that it could release string, right?
That's true.
So if
And it
that
also was
what
used on the day of
pulling
his
string-
death. I think that you're right. Maybe like
So
this
if we
then?
used that, yeah, that was what's tying it down, and so that's what brought it down, and it made it hit him.
I'm just gonna peek at this. The top of the sky lantern requires a space limiter, which would be the skylight. The two places have burn marks that should be from the mechanism's activation. And two places that have burn marks that should be... Okay, so...
So two things that have burns.
That doesn't have burn marks.
No.
Then. So... That
doesn't have burn marks,
say
that's not
burn
correct.
marks. But then that doesn't make sense.
It's the
because
paper.
Because only the paper has burn marks, but we just established
Check
where
the
that would
chair.
be from.
Check the... No. So then it has to be the Bestos mesh then. Like what I
But
was
no,
saying
it doesn't have... This doesn't have burn marks on it either. Oh, the
Yes,
mesh
it
has been
does,
charred
it's charred
black?
black.
Yeah, but... That doesn't make sense with what we just talked about, though.
I know, but it's saying that it had to be two things that had burn
But this
marks
also
on
had
it.
burn marks on it.
Yeah, and that's why it's one of the things at the bottom.
Okay, then where do we want to put this?
Instead of the paper, not the paper, the telegraph machine.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you're right about the telegraph machine.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm a little confused. Because if we look at the hint again, the hint says that, like, the top of the sky lantern requires a space limiter, and two places have burn marks that should be from the mechanism's activation. So two of the things should have burn marks on them, right? Because of how it activated.
The only things that have burn marks are things that should have been already attached to the lantern, though.
Yeah.
I would say if we use this, it would have to be in place of that, in my
Okay,
opinion.
let's do that.
Because
Yeah,
that
let's
was
do that
attached to
instead.
the lamp. It wouldn't make any sense to me why it would be on the ground. Or on the same
Yeah.
level as, like, the dagger is. In my opinion. And then
Yeah,
so it
let's
could be
try
that
that
these
then.
both have burn marks from the activation of it, and that maybe this was the
Mm-hmm.
one that was like sort of keeping it in place or triggering it.
Yeah.
I hope I'm right. I hope so. If not, we can do
I
what
hope so
you
too.
suggested.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It should also be able to control the timing of the dagger's descent.
Let's just try the strength. Our original idea of the
Yeah,
string
because it
instead.
has to be that, right? Because it was used that day,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially that could be used to control when it happened.
Yeah.
I feel
Because
like.
I feel like.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
you're right about it. I was just gonna do some
Yeah.
bullshit again where it's like, no, it's not that.
There must have been another item with kerosene as well, is what it just said.
I. Do we want to do the full hand, or do we want to try what you were suggesting, where it's like
Wait.
that and something else?
What was. Can we go back and read what it said again?
We'd
At the
have to
moment, or can
fail
we
again.
not? Okay, then never mind.
I thought it was gonna say the same bullshit. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Don't worry. Um. Scroll down again. Okay, let's go through and let's say what it cannot be first, so we can eliminate that. It cannot be the books, because the books are just missing with the ink stain, and we still haven't talked about that. So that has nothing to do with what's going on right now. So not the ink stain. It cannot be the stool, because we used a stool for that, and the main thing about that was that there was the scratch marks on the bottom of it, the grooves. Next up is that it cannot be the phonograph or the film's handle, because both of those were already used, and those have the mechanism of basically pulling the string instead of pushing the string, which is why I was saying it was the actual thing. It cannot be the Morse reel either, because the Morse reel had the Morse reel was how it controlled the key. It can't be the candles, because again, the candles only have those full grooves in the shell mark. One with kerosene marks. There we go. That's what we're missing. So that's the kerosene on the ground. Kerosene lamp with that. Yeah.
Okay, then there we go.
Ta-da!
We found it then. Alright, so that's
Ta-da!
how it is. The ring at the end of the dagger's handle shows signs of scorching. There are scorch marks on the skylight frame as well. And the location where my brother was murdered happened to be directly beneath the skylight. That's the killer's plan. Go on then, let's hear it. The reason the killer placed my brother right beneath the skylight is because the skylight is concave, feasible to fix the sky lantern to the window's frame. Then he tied the kerosene-soaked cotton thread to a candle. After arranging the key, paper, and phonograph, he could leave the room and lock the door. Before long, the candle burnt down to the cotton thread that suspended the dagger. Finally, the dagger fell vertically, piercing my brother's chest. My brother's death was definitely not a suicide. It's murder. The killer is still at large.
Thanks for the clapping.
For someone without a professional British. For someone without professional training, you are quite impressive. You do have a natural talent for detective work, indeed. However, this particular dagger tips the scales at a mere 190 grams. Falling from the skylight, could it furtively penetrate your brother's heart? Perhaps it behooves us to undertake an experiment. Several hours later, at the crime scene. We're gonna stab a man right in front of you. Just, oh my god. Jesus Christ.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Shen. We've given it our all, tried every which way, but we just can't mimic the scenario you put forth.
But those mechanisms, why?
I can't how you're feeling, but I'm saying we're at a standstill with no breakthroughs in sight.
Breakthrough, breakthrough.
Oh, good. We're alive.
We're awake. Shen, I found the manuscript. Okay, so
Yeah.
no, we're at the moment in time where I think it's the issue now is the book. How did it fall straight? Was what we needed to prove, right?
What?
Right now, what's happening is that we cannot prove how it fell straight down.
Well, so their implication is no. So what they're implying is that the dagger was not heavy enough to penetrate his heart while falling. That someone would have had to physically stab him in order to penetrate his body with that dagger.
Oh, is that what's going on? 'Cause
That's
it
what they're
seems like
saying.
that. Okay,
Yes.
because what I
No.
was looking at from where the potty was laying was that it was just kept on not falling straight into
No,
the
that's
point where
because they
it's
kept
falling.
sticking into it and then presumably like lopping over to the side because they didn't stick through the body.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't
No,
see
what
it
they're
like that.
saying, that's what the
Okay.
sergeant just like interrupted with. He basically was saying
Mm-hmm.
a dagger that's that light, if it fell from that height, would it be able to generate enough force to be able to pierce a man's chest and into his heart? And so what they concluded by
Okay.
testing it and why it was going on for so long, what he was just saying is like, I'm so sorry, Mr. Shen. We've tried everything. It just doesn't seem feasible that this dagger could have pierced his heart.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we're
Okay.
stuck on now. Is
Okay.
either A, we're completely wrong about our assumption, or B, they did something to that dagger to make it heavy enough to generate enough force to stab him, to make it look like it was he
Okay.
stabbed himself.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just now confused because I'm like, can we open the history?
Like the
Are we able to
text,
do
the
so?
dialogue history?
Yeah, the dialogue history.
Okay. This particular dagger tips the scales at a mere 190 grams. Falling
Yeah.
from that
Okay.
skylight, could it vertibly penetrate your brother's heart?
Okay.
Perhaps it
Got it.
behooves me to undertake an experiment. Cut to the experiment, cut to several hours later. I'm sorry, Mr. Shen. We've given it our all, tried every which way, but we can't mimic the scenario you put forth.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
I just was need to be clarified on like the exact wording he said.
yeah.
Okay.
So they were saying vertically, like vertically as well, but that still goes into the weight problem.
Yeah, it's the weight issue. Um, however, from what I don't know, it's fine.
I think you're getting
Either
a
way,
little
it's
too
fine. We
hung
can
up
do
on a
it here.
detail that's not particularly important because it still falls back into
Yeah.
the same logic of the
Yeah.
dagger
We
didn't
can
weigh
deal with it
enough to
later.
penetrate his chest.
We can deal with it later because it'll probably explain more on like our biggest problem anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll continue. Or do we want to stop here?
Well, we can go just a tiny bit further to get to a stopping point and then stop because we are going to need to stop.
Okay. Yeah. We will have to finish this next case next time.
Yes.
We're doing so good.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to. It's
We
a long
probably would have
case.
gotten a lot farther if it wasn't for the fact that I laughed for like 30 minutes.
It's
But like that's how we go. That's how we quote unquote roll.
Mm-hmm. I think I just
Okay.
fell asleep.
Yes, it's already down outside. Mr. Shen, while you were asleep, I searched through all the shelves and finally found that book.
Praise me. Praise me.
Suli, quickly bring the book to Mr. Shen. Mr. Shen, it seems that Miss LePay part of the none of those words came out right. Mr. Shen, it seems that LePay borrowed inspiration from this novel.
Oh, God. Death Under the Chiasson, written by Sinosora. A kind of ceiling structure in traditional Chinese architecture, which makes the building ceiling concave upward like a well, and the walls are decorated with algae patterns, hence the name Kaisen. Kaisen. I am so tired. It is generally composed of multi-layer arch of wooden architecture, which shrinks from bottom to top and to form an inverted bucket shape. It is commonly found at the top of architectural structures such as grottos, temples, and palaces.
The skylight.
If not for my grandfather's urgent letter, I wouldn't have returned to this ancestral hall. The old door knocker is covered in mottled rust, just like the stench of liqueur on my uncle's. My aunt would boast to everyone about the phonograph her son brought back from studying abroad.
That's so sus.
Fascinating. It is said to have recordings of famous opera singers she intended to show it off in a ceremony. Uncle was killed. He was stabbed to death during the ancestral ceremony. That's a locked room, and the only key is with him. Oh, how interesting. How interesting. Besides the body, the 7-star lamp and the singing machine captured everyone's attention. Was my uncle killed by the 7-star lamp, or bewitched by the sound of the machine? I re-examined the scene, and indeed, it was a locked room. The phonograph, now out of tune, seemed eerie. Could it really be the work of spirits? The killer used a sky lantern to lift the murder weapon up the caisson. The discordant phonograph exposed the fishing line, solving the locked room mystery. But how many times must the tragedy under the caisson repeat, like the cycle of this roller? A piece of paper on the back cover, which says Eastern End of Gaunting Street, Xiaobo Town.
Shanna, how is it? Any discoveries?
The locked room, the phonograph, the sky lantern, the Big Dipper. These descriptions are consistent with the scene where my brother was killed. The room in the book lacks a skylight, yet has a roof caisson. Both serve the same purpose. The fishing line was replaced with Morse code paper strip. Compared to Lope's novel, this manuscript is even closer to the scene of my brother's death. It's as if the author has experienced it personally.
Are the other details of the scene also the same?
In the novel, the crime took place in the hall, while the London case occurred in the study room. There are other differences in the layout of the two scenes. However, these differences are irrelevant to the case. The only difference is that the case is the manner of death.
The manner of death?
In the book, the victim is killed by a falling dagger while kneeling beneath the caisson. I don't know why I keep saying caisson. The caisson. I'll just say
Caisson.
caisson? Is it caisson?
It sounds French. It looks French.
But it's not French.
Yeah,
The reason I keep saying caisson is incorrect because it would imply there's like an I before the O.
But
Or an IE.
I mean, we can always just listen to it.
I don't want to right now, I'm too tired.
Okay, we can continue.
We'll do it later. The weapon plunged into his back, and his body did not show any signs of contortion. Because if I have to pull up my phone to look it up, I'm just going to stop streaming.
Yeah, you're all good, don't worry. What does this difference mean?
I don't know.
Mr. Shen, as I listened to your discussion, I suddenly had some ideas.
Please, share your thoughts.
I remember Chernyshevsky once said, art comes from life and goes beyond it.
Nikolai Chernyshevsky, a Russian materialist philosopher and one of the authors of the progressive magazine The Contemporary, criticized the Tsarist government and actively spread ideas about a present revolution. At the age of 27, in his work The Aesthetic Relations of Art to Reality, he proposed the materialist views such as beauty is life and art stems from life, challenging the then dominant idealist aesthetics of Hegel. He revealed the department relationship of beauty to life, which had a profound influence on later generations.
As a writer, I understand how authors often draw inspiration from reality into their stories. Since the plot of this book bears a striking resemblance to the case you're investigating, I think the author must be someone who knows about this case, right?
Alive. Alive. Do the two of you happen to know who Kainosora is?
I have never heard of this name. The author only left his pen name, and I don't know his real identity either.
Does the author have any other works?
No, this is the only submission from Sinosora.
Is there any other work with a similar writing style? Perhaps the author has other pen names.
While this book has a clever concept, the writing style is still inexperienced. The author seemed more like a novice, rather than someone who regularly writes novels.
A novice?
A novice.
Mm-hmm. It's novice.
What about the handwriting? I think I've seen some manuscripts with similar handwriting. This is a transcribed copy for archiving, and the original has been returned to the author. The address to which the manuscript was returned then should still be available, right? It's been a long time, and the publishing house has relocated. Those records are no longer available.
Isn't that
Thanks.
convenient? Perhaps this part of the book can help us find the author.
The back cover.
On the back cover is a piece of pear saying eastern end of Gaunting Street, Xiaobo Town.
This does look like Pi Sheng's handwriting. Chu, do you know about this address? No, but you reminded me of something. Pi Sheng mentioned she'd found some of the rejected authors' addresses and planned to visit them. Shen, let's hurry and go visit the address left by Miss Liu. Who knows? Senosora might just live there.
Okay, let's go and have a look. May I borrow this manuscript for now?
Of course. If there's anything else I can help with, feel free to ask.
Goodbye. Goodbye. And this is where we will stop.
Here we are at the eastern end of Gaunting Street, Xiaobo
We're stopping. Shush. Anyway, because it is not that late really,
Yeah.
but
Getting later.
I have to get up fairly early tomorrow.
I have to get up fairly early tomorrow.
Yeah, we both gotta get up very early. So I'm also very tired, so I should probably just go lay down and start going to bed.
Yeah. We've been going for 3 hours, so
we made really good progress. We got the entire flashback, so I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope everyone had a great time. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It's gonna be a very just like a heads up for streaming, it is about to be a very, very busy week for me. Because I have not only do I have a lot of rehearsals this week, but I also have my opening night of my show this week.
Yay!
Which, by the way, I do realize I need to check and talk about that because I need to see if my my performance on, because we have a family night on Thursday, and I need to double check what time that is, because sometimes family nights are the same rehearsal times. Which in that case we could still do Homestuck afterwards, but sometimes the rehearsal times are ends up being more show time. So if that happens, I would not get home until very, very late.
Yeah.
So I'll look into that though, and I'll let you guys know. I will say that I do have performances on Friday, so if we do stream this again on Friday, it's going to need to be well before I go.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. But that's just to say that for my stream, that streams might be a little sparse this week. Again, I'm going to hope that we can at least do Homestuck at the very least. But after that, I shouldn't have any rehearsals once my show opens. So hopefully I will be able to get back into doing some other streaming. I want to get back into playing Outer Wilds again as much as it scares me. But
I believe in you. You can do it.
I have to do it. I have to, because if I don't, it's just going to sit there untouched forever. Um, but I'm hoping to get back into more general streaming. I'm also going to have to start working on setting up some other stuff because I have to start working on
Mm-hmm.
setting up some new and dusted off commissions. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good
Yeah.
stream. I hope everyone has a lovely night or day or
Do
evening or
you
whatever.
feel
Hmm?
okay to raid
I
someone?
don't really want to.
Okay, that's
If I
fine then.
do, I
That's
will
fine.
not say a word. I'm just gonna like literally send
That's
people to
okay.
raid and then leave. So I don't
That's fine.
really
We can
want
just do
to.
that instead.
Um,
It'll be peachy.
okay. I mean, can I just tell people to go watch Peachy or just put a link to the
Yeah.
stream without raiding? Because I
You
just don't
don't
want
want
to
to do?
raid.
Okay,
I don't want.
that's fair.
I'm sorry. I
No, you're
understand
good. Don't
raiding. I
worry.
respect it. I
Yes,
hate doing it though because I just don't.
you're
It
good. That's
makes me
why.
feel like I have to say it at my
That's why.
computer and I don't want to right now.
No, no, you're all good. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's why I was. That's why I went ahead and asked first. Okay, that's all. Okay.
Hmm.
Anyway,
If
but yeah.
you want to put a link to it, Trinima, you can. I just don't want
Mhm.
to. Unfortunately, I don't want to raid. But I mean, if anyone here wants to do an honorary, not official raid, you can go hop over to Peachy's stream if Trinima links it, and go say hi. Uh, but I will probably just go ahead and end the stream here. Yeah, Woken Artist. Um, but anyway, I hope you all had a nice day or night and etc. etc. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I will see you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.